What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty, and welcome to another amazing video. You can follow me on Patreon for exclusive stories. 8 hectoseconds chapter 151 Soul Saint. It seems that Bibong has fallen into the demons, now through his enlightenment, so successfully promoted. Senju Chongsheng pinched his chin and fell into thought. He always felt as if he had forgotten something, but he couldn't think about it. Bibong retreats and breaks through to the Soul Saint. It seems that when Bibong was raped by Qin, it was the time to break through to the Soul Saint. In the original work, Bibong took the initiative to confess to Qin, saying that even if he leaves the Wuhun Palace, he will be with Yu Shaogang. So Chihiro left Bibong in a violent manner and threatened Bibong. If she doesn't break up with Yu Shaogang, she will kill Yu Shaogang. He said that it was for Bibong to devote himself to cultivation, so he used violence to make Bibong give up. In fact, it's just Chihiro's own LSP. He just fell in love with Bibong's stunning beauty, and did something inferior to a beast. The original Bibong also hated it for a lifetime, and was forced to give birth to Qian Runshui. So Bibong could only break up with Yu Shaogang in an unfeeling manner, and the two have parted ways. Just ask. Bibong now is not the Pope of Tangsan's time, but a little girl who has just broken through to the Soul Sage. She is now a member of the 10,000 Worlds chat group, and Senju Chongsheng naturally wanted to prevent the things in the original book from happening again. Daoliu World, Wuhun Hall. Bibong's eyes are watery, and his skin is condensed, twisting his graceful posture. She stepped away from the slender thigh. Lianbu gently moved out of the closed room. Teacher Chihiro has been standing outside waiting for a long time. Every step of her movement is so light and elegant, the lavender skirt floats slightly, giving a sense of holy beauty. Teacher. Bibong yelled softly. Chihiro, wearing a golden crown and red armor, turned around slowly, and frost condensed on her firm face. He looked at Bibong coldly, a faint color flashed in his eyes. I heard that you have had a long relationship with a trash? Is it or not? Chihiro's voice was so cold that it made people feel cold. A trace of panic flashed in Bibong's eyes, but she immediately calmed down. She has long lost interest in Yu Shaogang, but she has been in contact recently. Although Yu Shaogang has no talent for cultivation, his theories and knowledge are very useful to Wuhun Hall. This person is suitable for making friends, not for being an enemy. To make use of it can make the Wuhun Palace become more prosperous. Yes, teacher, this person is very knowledgeable and can be used by Wuhun Hall. Bibong slightly lowered his head and replied respectfully. She didn't even notice that the greed in the eyes of her teacher Chihiro was gradually magnifying. Used by the Wuhun Hall? I think you are fond of this rubbish, right? Chihiro's voice gradually became louder, and when it came to the last word, it could be said that he shouted loudly. His voice reverberated in the Wuhun Hall, and he couldn't disperse for a long time. Soldiers far below were trembling with fear under the fluctuation of the sound of this spirit power blessing. The weaker ones are even more fainting in the brain. Teacher, what does this mean? Although I did admire him once, I don't have any ideas in this area anymore. Bibong's expression was dark. She raised her head to look at her teacher. But he was surprised to find that the once noble teacher was staring greedily at her delicate body with a pervert and twisted look at this moment. Teacher, you. Shut up. Indulging in love, it will only affect your cultivation. As a teacher, I will kill you now. Bibong's words were interrupted by Chihiro on the spot, and a terrifying spirit power pressure suddenly appeared. He has been greedy with the disciple for so long, and he has been unable to start for a long time. Now that I heard that the disciple was in contact with other men, Chihiro was completely angered. It's like licking a dog who has been pursuing the goddess for many years, and finally learned one day that the goddess was defiled by an ugly monster. At this moment, he had fallen into a state of violent walking, and 9 spirit rings rose up from him at the same time. 3 pairs of golden wings suddenly spread out from behind him, exuding a bright brilliance, illuminating the earth. Yellow, yellow, purple, purple, black, 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 black. 95 level title Daoliu. The entire Wuhun Hall trembled at this moment, and the color between the heavens and the earth also dimmed. Bibong had to sacrifice his martial spirit to resist the pressure of spirit power, and beads of sweat appeared on his white forehead. 6 spirit rings rose from behind at the same time. Yellow, purple, purple, black, black, black. Because she had just broken through to the 70th level, she hadn't had time to capture the 7th spirit ring, so even if she was a spirit saint now, she couldn't use her martial spirit body. Bibong is worthy of being the next Pope's heir, and the 2nd spirit ring has directly reached the millennium level. The 4th spirit ring is the same 10,000 years spirit ring as Tangsan. If Tangsan and she were the arrogant of the same era, they would definitely be crushed. Bibong's talent is so brilliant. Even the protagonist Tangsan has just walked the same way Bibong once did. The founder and first queen of Wuhun Empire, one of the killing gods in the city of killing. The second twin martial soul in history, the first person to solve the twin martial soul backlash. Before Tangsan became titled Daoliu, She was the youngest titled Daoliu in history, and the youngest level 99 pinnacle Daoliu. It can be said that the reason why Tang San will win in the end is simply because of too much hanging. Or it was the power of luck that helped Tang San forcibly and won an impossible victory. Even so, Tang San was killed once. This shows how powerful Bibong's talent and strength are. Boom. Qin Shunji's soul power surged out, and Bibong shook into the closed room on the spot. And he himself walked into the room slowly with the mighty coercion and closed the door. The rest of the Wuhun Hall did not dare to speak out, although they did not understand what had happened. But they must not speak out about what the Pope is doing, even curiosity. Bibong, who was stunned by spirit power, didn't care about 3 or 721. Let the Jiao body fly upside down and crash into the closed room and directly boarded the 10,000 Realms chat group. Bibong. At Senju Zhongsheng, please come and save me, Mr. Immortal, my master has a problem, he seems to be. Rape me. Yifan. What? Tony Stark. What's the situation? It was just said that Mr. Immortal was in love with his apprentice. Why did another incident of the master rape his apprentice because? Jin Muyan. No matter so much, everyone quickly help at Chu Immortal Mr. Come. At Senju Zhongsheng. Beatrice. At Senju Zhongsheng. True Angle Dagu. At Senju Zhongsheng. Kira Jiying. At Senju Zhongsheng. At this moment, Senju, who is in Konoha, just intends to go online and ask about Bibong's situation. As a result, before the news was sent, I saw Bibong's distress message. Tisk tusk tusk, Chihiro Jiji, this old dog, really is a fighter in the lust. Senju Zhongsheng did not answer and directly clicked on the group traversal function. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 152 In the World of Daoliu. While Bibong flew upside down, a power choice suddenly appeared in his mind. Agree or disagree? She woke up in an instant. This is definitely the coordinate acquisition, Mr. Immortal said. I've seen Senju Zhongsheng talk about it many times in the group, so Bibong directly relaxed. In an instant, this authority broke the door of space with extremely domineering authority. A purple-black spatial wormhole suddenly appeared behind Bibong. Immediately afterwards, Bibong's delicate body slammed into the space channel. Senju Zhongsheng had just walked out of the space channel, and suddenly a burst of fragrance pounced, and his soft body slammed into him. Huh? You were Bibong, right? Senju Zhongsheng looked down at the pink curly girl in his arms. Senju's beautiful eyes, delicate nose, red lips and white teeth are so beautiful that Senju can't help but wonder. No. Mr. Immortal. There was a slight blush on Bibong's delicate face, and she hurriedly got up, knowing that she was a bit rude just now. Clatter. 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 Before the two had time to say a second sentence, Chihiro Ji walked in with an extremely domineering attitude. Shen Da's door closed with a bang. Chihiro Ji saw his stunning disciple, broke free from a man's arms, and suddenly his eyes burst into flames. Is this guy the trash Yu Shaoging? Okay, he even dared to hide in the house. It turns out that the so-called retreat is living with wild men. Sluts, there is a man hidden inside. Chihiro was furious, his face flushed red, and the 3 pairs of wings behind him suddenly burst into light. First soul ability. Angel Lightblade. 6 wings instigated, and the yellow spirit ring behind him lit up. The golden light blade suddenly shot out from behind, like a round of crescent moon coming from the sky. As this LSP Chihiro Jiji, really like a mad dog. Senju Zhongsheng murmured, then lifted his palm. The overwhelming aura swept out, suppressing Chihiro Ji, and instantly turned into a big hand covering the sky and the sun in the process. Boom! Under the loud noise, the ceiling of the closed room suddenly exploded. In an instant, that round of meniscus turned into light spots and scattered. Chihiro Ji vomited blood, and flew out uncontrollably. What's the matter? Who are you? Chihiro Ji waved his 6 wings, stabilized his inverted body, and looked at Senju Zhongsheng in shock. Where is Yu Shaoging? What was that just now? Something like soul power, but not soul power. He didn't even see the opponent's martial spirit, so he was shocked. A passing by. Ahem, Senju Zhongsheng from Konoha Village. Almost grabbed the lines of Emperor Qi. Konoha Village. HMPH, I don't care who you are, anyone who dares to be an enemy of my spirit hall will die. Qinshun screamed violently, and the black spirit ring behind him suddenly lit up. 7th soul ability. Angel Real Body. Coming up as the ultimate skill of Wuhan's true body. Facing the mysterious powerhouse in front of him, Qinshunji did not dare to have any reservations. In an instant, the golden light of Qinshunji's whole body bloomed again, like the god of angels descending on the world, shining all over the world. The huge phantom is as high as hundreds of feet, like a god looking down on the common people. The dazzling golden light illuminates the entire Wuhun Hall, and the light shining on the body makes people feel more comfortable. All spirit masters in Wuhun Hall looked up and stared. This powerful spirit power fluctuation caused the complexion of all spirit masters to change drastically. It's the Pope. He's fighting with people. Who is he fighting with? he even used the martial spirit real body. Shall we go over and support? Stupid, let the Pope all use the enemy of Wuhun real body. Can you resist it? Go over and evacuate the people around immediately, don't let them come near. The sole master of the Wuhun temple headed by yelled angrily, and then everyone woke up. Such a powerful enemy, they were nothing but cannon fodder in the past. 9th soul ability. Angel Holy Light. 5th soul ability. God's Descent to Earth. 3rd spirit ability. Angel Judgment. Chihiroji's voice resounded through the sky, and 2 consecutive spirit rings lit up. A ray of light descended from the sky and fell on the seraphim, whose figure seemed to have grown a little bit more. Both the momentum and energy have reached their peak state at this moment. A sword of judgment appeared in the hands of seraphim, and the huge body of the sword slashed down towards Senju Chongsheng. The long sword stirred up a storm of energy, and the surrounding buildings were instantly wiped out, making the scene extremely shocking. Senju Chongsheng's eyes narrowed slightly, and he stood alone in front of Bibong. The golden light spell burst out from the body, and the golden light turned into a current star, lingering and flowing. He stepped diagonally and shot out with a punch. Suddenly a shadow of a giant fist appeared in the sky, and 6 dark abysses were punched out, as if leading to reincarnation. 6 paths Samsara Fist. The 6 abyss black holes represent exactly 6 paths. Rumble. The sword of judgment collided with the fist light, and an indescribable strong wave exploded between the two. The entire Wuhun Hall collapsed and shattered at this moment, and the splendid building was turned into dust under the power of destroying the world. Those spirit masters who had planned to watch the battle nearby suddenly turned pale. They wanted to avoid the aftermath, but they were overwhelmed by the impact and instantly turned into blood. Those who were far away also suffered injuries of varying severity. When gods fight, mortals suffer. Although they are all spirit masters and extraordinary people, to them, the battle of Title Daoluo ranks, they are no different from mortals. It's terrible, is this the Title Daoluo's battle? The spirit master who survived by chance said with a trembling voice. Who is the Pope fighting with? Could it be the legendary peerless Daoluo? How is it possible? Isn't that person in our Wuhun temple? How can you do anything to the Pope? Maybe. The relationship is not harmonious. They had heard that there was still a 99-level peerless Daoluo in the Wuhun Hall. That is their previous Pope Qian Daoliu. That is, the father of the current Pope Chihiroji. However, no one has seen Qian Daoliu. Everyone only learned about it through hearsay. Maybe it's already over. Boom. As they exclaimed, the sword of judgment in the sky split a few small openings in vain. Click. The small cracks gradually spread, spreading to the entire sword like a spider web. Bang. Suddenly, the sword of judgment shattered, and the fragments filled the sky like a goddess scattered flowers. Senju Chongsheng's giant fist was unstoppable, and Qinshunji's body was blasted frontally. The 6 paths black hole followed closely, piercing Chihiroji's body on the spot, breaking through 6 huge blood holes. One of the thighs and one of the arms exploded on the spot. The severed limbs were bloody and very oozing. Sir, stop. At this time, an old voice sounded, accompanied by the expansion of the Golden Realm. Senju Chongsheng's face was flat and standing in his position, when the Golden Realm expanded to his side. As if blocked by an invisible force, it couldn't expand anymore. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 153 The Cowardly Qian Daoliu. The so-called domain power is just one of the power of heaven and earth. Senju Chongsheng's T-engine cultivation base can mobilize the power of heaven and earth for his own use with a single move. He could tear the golden field in front of him easily. A middle-aged man did not know when he appeared in the air and caught the falling Chihiroji. He took Chihiro down quickly, his long gray hair fluttering in the wind. Although his voice is old, his appearance is similar to that of a person in his 30s. The appearance is a little bit similar to Chihiroji, and his identity will follow. Bibong, who was hiding behind, shrank his pupils and said in a low voice, "It's Qian Daoliu." Chihiroji had taken her to meet this person a long time ago, and she looked exactly the same as she is now, without any change. This person is one of the peerless Daoluo in the mainland, the 99-level peak spirit power, the closest human being to a god. Bibong said solemnly. Qian Daoliu is one of the 3 peerless Daoluo in the world. Among them, Bo Saishi is known as the Invincible Sea, Tang Shen is known as the Land Invincible, and Qian Daoliu is known as the Invincible Sky. Senju Chongsheng heard this and looked at Qian Daoliu with interest. It turns out that this is Qian Daoliu, and he is also an important figure in the original work. It was precisely because of his sacrifice that his granddaughter Qian Runshui became the first person to become a god in the mainland 10,000 years. I wonder if you can explain, why do you want to do something to the Pope of my spirit hall? Qian Daoliu said solemnly. He seemed to be talking with Senju Chongsheng and him, but the spirit ring was gradually rising from his body. He has already stated his position to fight. Black, 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 red. The configuration of 8 black and 1 red is not that he can bear the 10,000 years spirit ring from the beginning. It was because he passed the 8th test of the red level and became a great worship of the angel temple. This is the power from the gods to help him improve his spirit ring here. A piece of black spirit ring bloomed with repressive power. It was as if an invisible giant hand hovering above everyone's heads. The soul masters who were watching the battle in the distance couldn't help trembling in their hearts at this moment, and their brains were blank. Do something to your martial soul palace. You may have misunderstood. You should ask what your son has done. Senju Zhongsheng smiled and pointed to Chihiro-ji, who was only breathing, and said, he is planning to rape his disciple. Shouldn't you slap this unsuspecting turtle son to death? As soon as this statement came out, Qian Daoliu's first reaction was not to believe it. But then the corners of his mouth twitched slightly, and his eyes became a little uncomfortable. What is the turtle son? His son is a tortoise, so what is he? Can you speak? Bibong, who was standing behind Senju Zhongsheng, stepped forward and said, yes, master, master. No, it is Chihiro-ji who really raped me just now, so I found Mr. Immortal to come and save me. This kind of person is no longer worthy to be called a master. This is a scumbag. The behavior of violent disciples can be done, it is too much for a beast. Huh, nonsense. Qian Daoliu snorted coldly. Now my son has been seriously injured and unconscious, isn't it just what you say? What if the two people in front of him did something extravagant and were smashed by his son, causing a conflict? And the man in front of him was terribly tough. Even Qian Daoliu didn't dare to pretend to defeat the opponent. This person is definitely a level 99 peak Daoluo, otherwise he would not be able to use such a powerful attack method. Why such a strong person would have a connection with Bibong, this in itself is a thought-provoking question. If there is such a strong elder in Bibong, she didn't need to come to the martial soul hall at all, let alone worship Qian Xuan-ji as a teacher. Therefore, Qian Daoliu concluded that the person in front of him was definitely not the elder Bibong. I don't even bother to lie to you, aunt, Senju sneered. Even if his strength is placed in the god realm, it is also an extremely powerful existence. What's more, a small Daoluo world, ants? Qian Daoliu's old eyes narrowed slightly. He felt the tone of the young man in front of him was very serious, and it was contempt from the heart. Could it be that this person is a legendary god? Or, this person passed the 9 tests of becoming a god? Qian Daoliu once also walked this way, knowing that there is a god in the world. Thinking of this, he had to put aside his arrogance and carefully look at the other party. Qian Daoliu was originally a cowardly person who didn't dare to venture forward. Facing the mysterious and powerful Senju Zhongsheng, he was a little bit scared. The longer he lives, the more he is afraid of death, and he will play his best. For a time, the two sides fell into a stalemate. Thousands of thoughts did not come up with a solution. But let him give up on this, he was unwilling, thanks to Mr. Immortal for his rescue. Seeing Qian Daoliu fell silent for a long time, Bibong knew what to do. So she turned around and bowed to Senju Zhongsheng, her gentle movements exuding infinite charm. Well, it's just a matter of effort. Senju Zhongsheng smiled and nodded. What do you plan to do next, leave the martial spirit hall or? At the moment Qian Daoliu is hesitant, and no one knows whether he will hold Bibong accountable. When asked, Bibong raised his head to look at Qian Daoliu and said, Master, what Bibong said just now is true, and I still hope it will be clear. Bibong is in the Hall of Souls. He is working hard to become the next pope. I hope that Master Zhu can let go of the anger in his heart and deal with this wisely. She said these words from the bottom of her heart, and at the same time, she was also trying to give Master Qian Daoliu a step forward. It's too stiff, and it's not good after all. And Bibong didn't have any losses, and her master had also been beaten to a half-maimed. Bibong's voice was as crisp as a silver bell, but there was a hint of domineering in his tone. After she becomes the pope, this overbearing power will be infinitely magnified. It seemed that he felt Bibong's sincerity. After Qian Daoliu took a few deep breaths, he looked at Bibong seriously. Although this is not his disciple, he still has some understanding. What Bibong said is mostly true. Even if Qian Daoliu thought it was incredible, his son might be a little bit crazy. In the past, he also felt that something was wrong with his son, but it still happened after all. No matter how much human desire is suppressed, there will be some fluctuations in it. Oh, Your Excellency, I won't pursue this matter anymore, but I hope Your Excellency can spare my son's life. Qian Daoliu sighed and made the only request under invisible pressure. Senju Zhongsheng answered very perfunctorily. He faintly glanced at the almost disabled Chihiro-ji, put his hands on his waist, secretly condensing dark magic. A dark curse was placed on Qinshunji, and before long, Qinshunji would die due to serious injuries. Even God can't save him. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 154 Tang Sect Hidden Weapon, Martial Soul Puppet. Qian Daoliu thought that Senju Zhongsheng meant to let go of his son. So he made a cautious promise. Thank you for your great kindness. Bibong will still be the successor of the Pope in the future, and I will not do anything against her. When it comes to a strong man of his level, he has always said what he said. Yes, those who know the current affairs are handsome. Senju Zhongsheng nodded in satisfaction, and the corner of Bibong's mouth rose slightly, revealing an alluring smile. In the presence, only Senju Chongsheng and Bibong knew that Chihiro-ji was actually dead. Senju Chongsheng. I have already cast a dark magic. Chihiro-ji's injury is definitely not cured. It may be suppressed, but it won't last long. This cursing dark magic will continue to eat away Chihiro-ji's body. He became weaker and weaker in the long pain, and finally died of pain. Bibong. Thank you very much. There is nothing valuable in my world. If I can find it, I will definitely offer it. Senju Chongsheng. You are welcome, Beatrice. It seems that Miss Bibong is all right. Tanjiro Zalman. Mr. Immortal is very reliable indeed. Jin Muyan. Aren't you together? Why do you want to talk in the chat group? Senju Chongsheng. Because this kind of thing is hard to tell, the dad of the cursed person is still here. Tony Stark. Oh, I seem to have discovered the other side of Mr. Immortal. Limrutran Pest. Ha 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 ha. System sign in. Senju Chongsheng no longer paid attention to the information in the group, and said silently in his heart. Open black lens bracket ding. Daoliu world sign in is successful, congratulations to get. Woohoon puppet, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket ding. Trigger snatching sign in. The girl let go, let me, close black lens bracket. Successfully snatched Chihiro-ji's peach blossom luck, congratulations on obtaining. Tang sect hidden weapon is completely unsolvable, close black lens bracket. Here we go again, it's this kind of weird sign in again. If people who don't know see this prompt, they will definitely mistake it for it. It was Senju Chongsheng who pushed away Chihiro-ji, and then enjoyed Bibong by herself. However, these two rewards made Senju Chongsheng's attention back. Tang sect's hidden weapons are unsolvable? Is it the hidden weapons books of Tang San's previous life? Senju Chongsheng followed Bibong to the outside, and the Woohoon Hall was in ruins. Originally, he planned to leave directly, but in order to sign in, he stayed here for a while. Naturally, it is impossible for the two of them to stand here in a daze and chat. Under Bibong's leadership, he came to another residence. The space in the house is not too big, but not small. It is this pale pink hall that is connected to the pink room, full of girlish style, which makes Senju a little uncomfortable. Why is it so like a love hotel? He smiled bitterly and shook his head, not paying too much attention to it. The heavy Tang sect hidden weapon was taken out of the system space and fell into his hands. Senju Chongsheng opened it a few times at random, and then he had a general understanding. This Tang sect hidden weapon was as he expected, it was exactly the hidden weapon of Tang San's previous life. Buddha Anger Tanglian, Rainstorm Pear Flower Needle, Peacock Feathers, Son and Mother chasing the soul to kill the courage, chasing the soul to kill the Hades. Familiar names come into view one by one, you can't go wrong. This book not only includes all Tang sect hidden weapons, but also includes detailed materials and assembly processes. It can be said that with this hidden weapon of Tang sect, all hidden weapons can be created. But it's useless to me, and I don't need these hidden weapons. Senju Chongsheng looked distressed, and immediately saw Bibong who was pouring water on his side. Suddenly there was an idea in his mind, and he waved to Bibong. Come here, I'll give you a big baby. Bibong. This is easily misunderstood, and Bibong's first reaction is a little bit astonished. But at a moment's notice, how could Mr. Immortal do something unspoken? So she took her long legs and came in styles. I don't want your reward. This book is for you, as long as you make all the hidden weapons in it for me. How about it? Senju said with a smile. Hidden weapon. Bibong gently stroked the skirt and sat aside gracefully. With curiosity, I opened this book from other worlds. Senju Chongsheng can't wait to see. Many years later, Tang San came to this world and saw the expressions of the Woohoon Hall selling Tang sect hidden weapons. This book is really useless for Senju Chongsheng. Instead of wasting it in his own hands, it is better to send it out. With the manpower and financial resources of the Woohoon Temple, a set of hidden weapons can be created very quickly. Senju Chongsheng has hobbies and hobbies, just like the Iron Man armor now placed at home to eat dirt. Even if it is not necessary, he also likes to use it as decoration and decoration. If there is a whole set of Tangmen hidden weapons hung on the wall, the aesthetic effect will not be bad. The workmanship of these hidden weapons is very exquisite and very ornamental. Bibong flipped through page by page, and the beautiful eyes were full of brilliance. It's an ingenious design. If this thing is equipped with the people in the spirit hall, it will surely create an unrivaled army. The more she talked, the more excited she murmured. At that time, we will find a few excellent craftsmen and transform them, so that these hidden weapons will completely become war machines. With the background and strength of the Woohoon Temple, it was really not a problem to summon craftsmen to transform the hidden weapons of the Tang sect. If it doesn't work, Bibong can still join the 10,000 Realms chat group and ask Tony for help. No matter how difficult it is to make Tang sect hidden weapons, it is absolutely impossible to make it more difficult than steel armor. Bibong has been deeply attracted by this Tang sect hidden weapon. In boredom, Senju Chongsheng extracted his martial arts reward. Woohoon was awakened by the help of spirit masters when everyone was 6 years old. When it comes to this question, Senju is thinking about it. How did the first person to awaken a martial soul awakened? This question is a bit like the chicken or the egg first. This time the reward was given directly to Wuhun, and it was also designated as a puppet. As for the role of this martial soul, the moment Senju Chongsheng extracted it, the power of the martial soul also flooded into his mind. Use biological essence and blood to refine the spirit ring, and the creature directly becomes a host puppet. The year of the spirit ring depends on the biological strength. In other words, Senju does not need to kill the soul beast, but only needs the soul beast's blood to obtain the soul ring. And the year of the spirit ring is determined by the year of the spirit beast. And after refining the spirit beast's blood, this soul beast will directly become his puppet for him to drive. You don't need to kill a soul beast to have a spirit ring, thinking that my current strength can directly extract the essence and blood of 10,000 years soul beasts. Senju Chongsheng was shocked by his martial arts ability. If you change to someone else, this ability will be very tasteless. The first thing to do is to solve the problem of how to extract the essence and blood from the soul beast, if it is the essence and blood of the dead soul beast. Even if it can be condensed into a spirit ring, there is no spirit beast for it to drive. The second is the question of the year when he bears the spirit ring. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 155 Puppet Bibong. This Wuhun is the same as ordinary Wuhun. The spirit master's ability to withstand the spirit ring is still the same as a normal person, without any gain effect. Therefore, ordinary people who gain this ability can only practice honestly like other people and obtain similar spirit rings. The standard combination of 2 yellows, 2 purples and 5 blacks. The only advantage is that there is a soul beast to help him fight, and the combat power is very fierce. There will be no gain effect. Therefore, ordinary people who obtain this kind of martial spirit can only practice honestly like other people, using the standard matching spirit ring. But when the puppet spirit falls into the hands of Senju Chongsheng, it will be completely different. Based on his T-engine cultivation base, he also has the flesh body that cultivates the god-like jail force. Accommodating 9-10,000 years spirit rings is not a problem at all. Senju Chongsheng was a little eager to try, and even got up, ready to go to the Starrk forest. There should be several 10,000 years spirit beasts in the current Starrk Great Forest, which can just be used as spirit rings for him. As for the soul power, when the aura is charged, it is directly full of soul power. But the next second, he was suddenly startled. No, using essence and blood to refine a spirit ring, can the person's essence and blood also be refined into a spirit ring? Suddenly, he sat down again and fell into contemplation. My martial soul is a puppet, with essence and blood as the soul ring. Actually, the function of essence and blood is to make living creatures my puppet. According to the information given by Wuhun, every one of my spirit ring abilities is a summon. The so-called spirit ring is just a means to call a puppet. This is a martial soul given by the system, but you can't subconsciously treat it as a pure Daoliu world martial soul. The spirit ring condensed by the essence and blood of Senju Chongsheng is very different from the spirit ring born on the soul beast. Because his spirit ring did not come from a soul beast, but from the essence and blood. As long as it is essence and blood, he should be able to extract a spirit ring. Thinking of the relationship, Senju Chongsheng immediately cast his eyes on Bibong next to him. Seeing her beautiful side face, Senju Chongsheng suddenly stretched out her palm. Mr. Immortal, you want to? Under Bibong's doubts, Senju Chongsheng's finger touched her white forehead. Sorry, distill a drop of blood for an experiment. Senju Chongsheng grinned, an aura poured into Bibong's body and wandered through her body. Suddenly, Bibong's blood began to boil and surging, and a drop of brilliant red blood was condensed on the white forehead under the scroll of aura. He wants to try to see if the human essence and blood can condense the spirit ring. If it succeeds, then the powerhouses of thousands of worlds can become his puppets. Using Bibong as the experimental subject was well thought out. Bibong's talent and strength are not bad, and it can even be said to be on top of Daoliu. If it succeeds, then Senju Chongsheng will teach Bibong all of his things without reservation. Create a Bibong far beyond the original, even if the gods come, they can kill the gods. In addition, making Bibong a puppet is equivalent to controlling the entire Wuhun Hall. Coupled with his support, the Spirit Hall will surely become the Spirit Empire and rule the entire Daoliu continent. This world will also completely work for Senju Chongsheng. Call. The spiritual energy dissipated, and Bibong's blood was suspended in the air. Mr. Immortal, what are you doing? Bibong felt his whole body loose, and looked at the drop of blood in front of him with some unknown reason. Senju Chongsheng didn't intend to conceal it either, and directly explained, I plan to do an experiment. I need human blood. He said, but this experiment is about your destiny. If it succeeds, you will be manipulated by me at will. This. Bibong's pre-face blushed in vain. Senju was stunned for a moment, then realized, this sounded a bit astringent. What does it mean to be fiddled with at random? It sounds like you are fucking the other party. Ahem. You misunderstood. It seems that you didn't misunderstand either. There seems to be no difference between completely controlling each other and playing around at will. Once Bibong became his puppet, he was really a puppet. If you want her to die, she must die, and there will be no thoughts of betrayal or resistance. Once I succeed, you will be controlled by me. No, you are controlled by me. It doesn't seem to be. Senju Chongsheng speaks a little incoherently. Anyway, you become my puppet. Your will is still there, but you will be loyal to me. Hearing this, Bibong was silent for a few seconds, and said firmly, I would like to be loyal to Mr. Immortal. I don't know if she is sincere, or if she knows that she has no room to resist. She confessed her fate directly. But her reaction made Senju Chongsheng very satisfied, and her heart was a bit higher than Bidong. The reason for explaining this to her is because of the relationship between the group members. In fact, Bibong did not refuse the opportunity. It can be clearly seen from the fact that Senju Chongsheng has extracted the essence and blood. Whether Bibong agrees or not, he will refine this drop of blood. Your consciousness is very high. If you succeed, I won't treat you badly. Senju Chongsheng felt a little embarrassed as soon as he finished speaking. I don't know why, maybe the color of this room is too much like a love hotel and the two are alone together. Every word he said felt a little weird. Bibong let out a and stepped back some distance. The location around Senju Chongsheng was also a little open, and he directly pointed his fingertips on this drop of blood. The essence and blood suddenly bloomed in scarlet color, and the pink room was illuminated by red light at this moment, turning into a blood-red color. He summoned an invisible puppet and swallowed this drop of blood. Obviously it was the blood that the puppet ate, but Senju Chongsheng himself felt a bloody smell in his throat. Sit down, cross legs, gather aura and feel every meridian in your body. After just a few breaths, this drop of blood was completely refined by Senju. In an instant, at the center of his forehead, a stream of light suddenly shot out, directly into Bibong's mind. At the same time, Senju Chongsheng also rose up with a dark halo, slowly spinning in the air. The black light made the room extremely dim, as if it was covered with a black veil. Bibong just stood on the spot, his gaze fell into a sluggishness, as if he had received a great mental shock. 1 ring of 10,000 years spirit ring. Bibong's comprehensive assessment is already comparable to the 9 10,000 years soul beasts. As long as she is stronger, she can directly rise from the 10,000 years spirit ring to the red 10,000 years spirit ring. Senju Chongsheng's conjecture is not wrong, and the human essence and blood can also be refined into a spirit ring. His martial soul can make any strong man a puppet. The spirit ring retracted. Senju Chongsheng slowly opened his eyes, and there was already an additional control command in his heart. When he looked at Bibong, he could hear what she was thinking. Even the things she imagined in her mind can be clearly felt. It's as if the person in front of him is not someone else, but a clone of Senju Chongsheng himself. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 156. Any voice in Bibong's heart, any picture in his mind, will be transmitted to Senju Chongsheng here. Bibong has completely become Senju's longevity puppet. After a long time, Bibong woke up from the sluggishness. When she looked at Senju Chongsheng, she couldn't help but trust in her heart. It seems that all the secrets in my heart can be told. Mr. Immortal. Bibong's red lips lightly opened, and his small mouth opened slightly, but he didn't know what to say. She could feel that her senses of Mr. Immortal had changed. But other things, she didn't feel at all. He said that he became a puppet, but it didn't seem to be such a thing. Bibong's inner thoughts were all projected into Senju Chongsheng's mind. He nodded slightly, which was exactly the effect he wanted. This kind of means of controlling others without affecting too much is exactly what he wants most. I will stay here to teach you for a period of time. While you are cultivating soul power, you must also learn the immortality longevity exercise from me. Since he has become his own puppet, he can't treat him badly. A person who will never betray you, what else is necessary to hide from him? Even if Bibong surpasses Senju's longevity, it is also the power of Senju's longevity. Because Bibong will not betray, yes, I listen to you. Bibong nodded obediently, without a trace of the Queen's Haki, which made Senju Chongsheng feel a little subtle. Thinking of Bibong who will become the Pope in the future, but now this well-behaved appearance, really makes people feel more comfortable. During the next period of time, Senju always stayed in the Daoliu world. He mainly taught the immortal longevity Kung Fu and the power of idol restraining prisons. As for chakra or something, he did not teach it. These two exercises are the foundation of Senju's longevity in the thousands of worlds. Only with a solid foundation can we fight the quartet. Bibong's martial spirit is very strong, but it is only an auxiliary means when placed in the world. The spirit of Daoliu world is more like a weapon that accompanies the body. After possessing the puppet martial spirit, Senju Chongsheng also has to think about who should be given to the next 8 positions. Bibong has the background of Wuhun Temple, and has a strong talent that can help Senju eternally rule a world. This is why Senju Chongsheng chose her, but when it comes to the second one, she needs to be considered more carefully. At present, the person Senju wants to conquer the most is not the invincible Saitama, nor the invincible Limru. But Yifan is still growing. Time is meaningless for Senju's longevity, so there is no need to worry about the growth of time. Once Yi Fan becomes the emperor, he will surely sweep all the members of the group. Even Saitama and Limuru will definitely not be his opponents. Unless there are some big cultivators in the group, or even big ones from the prehistoric world. Mr. Immortal, are you leaving now? Bibong came with a fragrant breeze, and she was a little bit reluctant in her beautiful eyes. In these days, she can feel the importance that Senju Chongsheng attaches to her, which can be described as unreserved teaching. There is so much reluctance in it, and there are too many things in it. During this brief teaching, Bibong made penultimate progress, and it will have a great impact on her in the future. It's not a goodbye. If you have something you don't understand, you can ask me directly in the group. If you encounter problems that cannot be solved, I will come and help you. Senju Chongsheng smiled and touched Bibong's hair. This intimate action is entirely the intimacy of the master to the apprentice, without any other thoughts. Senju Chongsheng has long been accustomed to touching the female apprentice's hair, and the soft feel is admirable. Although Bibong did not formally apprehend his teacher, the relationship between the two is even closer than that of the teacher and apprentice. Gone. Senju Chongsheng waved his hand, then turned around and walked into the space transmission channel. Bibong watched him leave, standing still for a long time. Ninja World. Konoha. Senju Chongsheng returned to Konoha Village again, feeling that the air was full of familiar smells. There were quite a lot of people in the house this time. Tsunade, Hinata, and Emilia were all here, and they were sitting around in the room discussing something. The three of them looked different when they saw Senju Chongsheng's appearance. Tsunade Willow frowned slightly, and there is a mixture of emotions in his somewhat reproachful eyes. Hinata was overjoyed. The first reaction to seeing Master came back was to get up and walk. Emilia seemed a little indifferent, she just looked over with a smile and didn't show much. Oh, long time no see, Senju Chongsheng smiled and said hello. Oh, you big devil, are you willing to come back? Tsunade suddenly ran like a tyrannosaurus, but when he ran in front of Senju Chongsheng, he suddenly changed back to the posture of a little girl. Yusho gently tapped on his head, no pain or itching. It's okay to come back soon. As a result, it's been a few months. Do you know what happened to Konoha during this time? Tsunade said angrily. Senju Chongsheng chuckled twice, without blaming her for being rude. Judging from Tsunade's posture, she is definitely anxious by certain things. What happened that made you so anxious? Senju asked puzzledly. Tsunade took a deep breath. Did you hold the Five Shadows conference during the time you left? But things didn't go well. Except for Sanagakure and Cloud Shinobi Village, which favored Konoha, the other villages held a tough attitude. Therefore, matters concerning the coalition forces have been delayed again and again, and several meetings have been held during this period. Wait, the attitude is tough? Why do they have to be tough? Senju Chongsheng interrupted in vain. Itachi said at the Five Shadows conference that all villages must follow Konoha's arrangements, with Konoha as the leader. Tsunade took a deep breath and explained, at the same time, the tail beast he had obtained before was sold to other villages at an expensive price, and it was strongly opposed. These Shinobu villages want us to return the tail beasts free of charge, in the name of the coalition army. Interesting. Hearing this, Senju's eyes narrowed slightly. He has learned a lot from Tsunade's half-sentence. The coalition of the Five Shadows conference was formed, but they isolated Konoha and even threatened Konoha to return the tail beast for free. But Itachi is very powerful, not only wants them to pay for the tail beast, but also the coalition army to obey Konoha's command. That's it. If that's the case, just hit them until they take it, Senju said with disdain. Unexpectedly, Tsunade sneered instead, of course it's more than that. Because of the strong attitude of the coalition army, during the second meeting, Poros and I followed Itachi and went to the meeting place together. As a result, Konoha Village was attacked at this time, and Rinnegan, who was placed in Orochimaru's laboratory, was snatched away. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 157 Rinnegan was snatched away. Upon hearing this news, the first thing Senju thought of for a long time was the remaining ninjas in Konoha Village. Uchiha Shisui, Namikaze Minato, Sarutobi Hiruzen, Kakashi, Sasuke, Naruto, Nagato, Konan. So many powerful people in Konoha Village can still be snatched. Rinnegan, is this too bloody? As if sensing the look in Senju Chongsheng's eyes, Tsunade immediately added, the opponent is a mysterious masked man. His abilities are too weird to guard against. He appeared in Orochimaru's laboratory in vain, then took Rinnegan and disappeared. In such a short period of time, there is no chance of reaction at all. Obito's Mangekyo Sharingan ability is so rascal. Rinnegan is gone. If it is gone, it's not a big deal. Senju Chongsheng answered casually, and sat down. It's the coalition army. Which villages are there? If it were just the other two Dalton's ninja villages, I am afraid that they would not dare to fight Konoha, and there must be other forces joining them. In the ninja army, Iwagakure in the country of soil and Kirigakure in the country of water are standing opposite Konoha. Tsunade began to analyze for him one by one. The Cloud Shinobi village in the Kingdom of Thunder is a bit vacillating. the Senagakure in the Kingdom of Wind may have been beaten by us and is completely on our side. But the people at Senagakure are a little bit afraid of the Ninja Alliance, so they don't express much. Finally, there are the warriors of the Iron Kingdom. They are the leaders of the Konoha incident and their backing, which made Iwagakure and Kirigakure fatten up. After talking a lot, Tsunade felt dry and took a sip from the water glass. After listening to the whole process, Senju Chongsheng suddenly became puzzled. The samurai of the Iron Kingdom looks quite weak. In this ninja world, no matter how powerful the samurai is, he can never overpower the ninja. Just like the one who can be called the emperor with physical skills, there is only Might Guy, and the rest of the physical skills are nothing extraordinary. Tsunade put down the water cup and added, "The samurai of the Iron Kingdom, I don't know where to get the martial arts, now they're very powerful." Huh? Senju Chongsheng's mouth twitched slightly, always feeling a little weird. How strong is it to make Tsunade say ferocious? Could there be some strange butterfly effect again? But no matter how great the impact is, it won't make the samurai in the ninja world become fierce, right? What about now? The two sides are still deadlocked, Senju asked. Almost. Itachi is waiting for your message from Master, Tsunade said. After a short break, Senju Chongsheng and Tsunade came to Hokage's office. Minato and others are indoors, discussing solutions to this matter. Fifth Hokage, this matter can't be dragged on any longer. Mr. Immortal can't get out of retreat. We must decide on our own, a senior said in a deep voice. Uchiha Itachi snorted coldly. I made a decision, but you don't agree. You are going to start a war. How can we allow this? The most important thing now is to fight against the Akatsuki organization, not to endure the domestic chaos of the five great forces. Are you scared? Itachi snapped coldly. Everyone suffocated, and their complexions were a little hard to look at. Are they really scared? Maybe. It's not that he is afraid of losing, but that Konoha will lose a lot after he finally defeats the coalition army, and he will not be able to fight Akatsuki again. We must focus on the overall situation, Konoha's senior executive added unwillingly. The big picture? Destroy these ant villages, that's the big picture. In vain, Senju Chongsheng pushed in and said proudly. Mr. Immortal. Teacher. Seeing Mr. Immortal stepping forward, everyone stood up and saluted at the same time, with a respectful expression. I have already understood the situation. I will notify other ninjuku to hold another meeting. Those who don't come, or who don't accept it on the spot, will directly fight until they are satisfied. Poros, Itachi, Tsunade, and the few who had previously organized for Akatsuki went to the meeting place with me. It's time for the entire ninja world to see the full power of Konoha Village. Senju Chongsheng's flat voice surprised many Konoha high-level expressions. But thinking about the power of Mr. Immortal, the hanging newness loosened again. Everything obeys Mr. Immortal's arrangement, everyone respectfully said. Since Itachi became Hokage, Senju's position in Konoha Village has been elevated again. In the pen incident, Senju Chongsheng showed their strength, which made them even more in awe. A few days later, the country of Iron is located in the center of the mainland, and the five shadows come together again. Senju Chongsei and Konoha came here. At this moment, the other four shadows of Shinobu, as well as the leader of the Iron Kingdom, were sitting in the meeting room. The leader of the samurai of the Iron Kingdom, Mifune, sat on the top position, and let the other shadows of Shinobu sit on both sides. It can be seen from the attitude on his face and the seat he is sitting on that he is extremely arrogant in his heart. While defiant, he sits in the center as a leader. Everyone at Konoha Village, have you thought about it? Mifune leaned on the chair, wearing white armor, looking a little bloated. If you insist on being an enemy of the coalition army, don't blame me for waiting for the war. Sanchuan's tone was flat, as if he was telling an ordinary thing. He concluded that Konoha would never dare to go to war. Once war starts, even if it is as strong as Konoha, it will suffer heavy losses. Konoha can't afford such a price. Just a few months ago, the Iron Kingdom broke into a mysterious powerhouse. He appeared out of thin air and was judged as an assassin by the warriors of the Iron Kingdom. The samurai chased this man all the way, but was defeated by his superb swordsmanship, and then he disappeared out of thin air in front of everyone. Before it disappeared, he dropped a book that said, Pirate Hunter Swordsmanship. All kinds of swordsmanship are recorded on it, from no sword flow to 9 sword flow. Since then, Mifune has allowed warriors across the country to practice this secret book, and their overall strength has grown by leaps and bounds. Now Mifune can kill the opponent instantly before the ninja takes the seal. It was precisely because of his strength that he became stronger that it inspired Mifune's ambitions, which led to his present appearance and attitude. He feels like he has a crush on Konoha. This is the Konoha village people who stopped at the door and gave way to both sides. Senju Chongsheng walked in slowly under the stunned gaze of everyone. A casual and cool outfit is incompatible with the snowy weather and looks a bit nondescript. Sorry, I'm here to give you a notice this time. Those who disagree, come and die. He smiled faintly and said very arrogant words calmly. Everyone present was stunned, looking at this utterly young man in confusion. Who are you? Are you here to be funny? How could Konoha allow such people to mess around in public? Where is the junior? How dare? Puff, an Iron Country warrior just yelled. Suddenly it was suppressed by the invisible force and exploded into blood mist on the spot. The smell of blood permeated the room, making everyone present shocked. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 158 The Death of the Samurai in the Iron Country made everyone aware of it. Konoha Village came with a bloody storm this time. Strong posture, mysterious means, strange young man. Under the compatibility of the three, the identity of this person is also ready to be revealed. According to legend, the immortal god of Konoha Village. Only this legend can explain why Konoha is suddenly so strong, and the identity of this mysterious young man. That guy, is Konoha's patron saint. Isn't it a legend, it actually exists. No matter how many of him, our Iron Country now has magical skills in hand. Are you afraid that he will not succeed? That's right, Master Mifune will avenge the brother just now. The Iron Country samurai made a fighting stance, and his palm was on the hilt of the sword. Mitsubun's face twitched slightly, and the anger in his heart was already welling up. Is this the representative of Konoha Village? It's really arrogant, so let me learn. How strong is the so-called Konoha god? With a loud shout, Mifune confidently drew a long sword from his waist. Not one, but three, holding a knife in both hands, and one bit in his mouth. This strange posture made Senju Chongsheng completely stupid. Zoro, is that you Zoro? The next moment, what Mifune yelled out, and the moves he used, made Senju Chongsheng completely bewildered. Three swords flow 108 trouble winds. Boom! Suddenly, three swords were swung at the same time. The tornado hurricane was swept towards Senju. The ceiling of the conference room was also blown away by a tornado at this moment. The cold wind and snowflakes roared in from the outside, and the scene was on the verge of breaking out. Everyone retreated at the same time, avoiding the tornado's attack. What the hell? Senju was stunned. Did you really use Zoro's moves? What's happening here? Is it possible that the three ships also have a chat group? Rumble. I was thinking in my mind, but Senju Chongsheng didn't stand still in a daze. With a move of his mind, his aura whistled from his body. It was like a huge ocean bursting a bank, setting off an aura of tsunami and paving it down. The tornado hit by Mitsune suddenly shattered. The aura tsunami is unstoppable rolling down. Mitsubun's complexion became extremely pale, and he waved three long knives before making another move. Puff. The terrifying aura was overwhelming. As if the sky was pressed down, Mifune finally vomited blood and knelt on the ground on the spot. The top of the bones gurgled on the floor, blood overflowed from the knees, and the spine was continuously bending down. Tick. Tick. Sweat wetted Mitsubun's back, dripping down the sweat on his face. Quickly, save the leader. Kang. The samurai around immediately drew out their long swords and rushed up, with a raging aura and full of murderous aura. But when they took a step, an irresistible force of heaven and earth pressed down from above. Puff. Puff. All the warriors collectively knelt to the ground, supporting the ground with both hands, and their long swords slammed on the ground with a crisp sound. Climb and kowtow. I can spare your life. Senju Chongsheng's eyes were indifferent, and his voice was as cold as a merciless god. The power of heaven and earth oppressed Mikun's breath. His face became more and more ferocious, and he said every word. Just, this is it? Good guys. He still knows this kind of mocking vocabulary, and his mouth is hard when he died. It seems that he has not eaten enough. If that's the case, then go and die. Senju Chongsheng sneered, and immediately mobilized the power of the heavens and the earth directly into the mountains to press down. He would not give Mifune a chance. This person is the leader of the enemy Konoha, and he will only die if he does not want to give in. Mifune's eyes glared, a little unbelievable, just about to speak. Bang! Before I had time to regret it, there was a muffled noise. The three ships were directly crushed into a mass of flesh. Blood, brain plasma, internal organs, splashing out. The scene was extremely bloody, and the scalp of the samurai kneeling around was tingling. Some people with weak psychological endurance even knelt on the ground and retched. The leader who was alive in the first second will become a puddle of mud in the next moment. After killing the three ships, Senju Chongsheng looked at Mizukage Terumi Mei on the other side, and Tsuchikage Onoki. You two are the same, come and kowtow, and you can spare your lives, Senju said with a blank expression on his face. Now that you have chosen Konoha as an enemy, you must do well to endure the consequences of failure. Right now, it is their chance to atone for their sins. If not, Senju will kill him without hesitation. Does the Five Shadows Conference make sense? For Ninja and Konoha Village, it is very necessary. But for Senju Chongsheng, these people are dispensable. He really didn't care about the so-called Akatsuki organization. Even without the help of other Shinobu Village, he can sweep it all by himself. It's just that this is a disaster in the ninja world, and it is naturally impossible to rely on Konoha Village alone. As Senju Chongsheng's voice fell, a force of heaven and earth screamed with a strong wind. Terumi Mei and Onoki changed their faces and performed ninjutsu at the same time. Lava-style solving monster technique. Terumi Mei gave a soft sip, put her hand on her red lips, and pulled out a sticky acid. Dust escape primary realm stripping technique, hum. The cube appeared in Onoki's hands, blooming with dazzling white light, and was expanding and growing at a speed visible to the naked eye. It's really stubborn. Boom! Senju Chongsheng's icy voice blasted in their minds like thunder. In an instant, the terrifying power of heaven and earth suppressed. Terumi Mei's acid spilled all over her body, and her clothes were gradually disappearing. Fortunately, she is not afraid of her acid, otherwise she must be seriously injured and bleeding. The cube in Onoki's hand shattered on the spot, turning into white light spots and spreading out. The old body lay on the ground with a puff. As if a giant elephant was stepping on his old waist, his face was distorted in pain. Climb and kowtow. Senju Chongsheng's voice came again. This is his final announcement to these two movies. In such a powerful scene, I saw the samurai kneeling on the ground with cold sweat on their foreheads. That is the shadow of the two villages. As a result, he couldn't hold it for even a round, and he lay directly on the ground, and was forced to crawl over and kowtow. If it is known to outsiders, I am afraid that this is a very cold joke. Terumi Mei and Onoki lay motionless on the ground, their faces extremely gloomy. The movement in the conference room had been noticed outside, but it was strongly intercepted by Poros and others, and no one could approach it. Giggle giggle. The two shadows lay on the ground, their bones shattered every inch, and blood gradually permeated from the skin. It seems that you are also hard bones, then go to hell to meet your three ship chiefs. Seeing the two people struggling to support, Senju raised his palm with cold eyes. The sky with a radius of hundreds of miles was instantly shrouded in dark clouds, with a mighty spirit. As if from day to night. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 159. As Senju Chongsheng raised his hand, the walls on all sides of the building were turned into dust at this moment, scattered in the air. The heavy snow was blowing in the sky, and the cold wind was biting. Don't me. I crawl. Terumi Mei gritted her teeth when she saw the big hands gradually condensing in the sky. Enduring severe pain, enduring endless pressure, crawling slowly. Mizukage, you. Onoki's face was full of shock, but Terumi Mei had unexpectedly succumbed. His old bones didn't give in, and he was struggling to support him here. As a result, the teammates of the same camp gave in first. For a time, Onoki was the only one left lying on the spot. The surrounding samurai knelt on the ground and kowtowed, suppressed by the mighty power of heaven and earth, unable to get up. The Konoha shinobi from outside intercepted the villages, and those who refused to persuade them to kill directly on the spot. Rumble. Poros is like a human-shaped tail beast, blasting out energy artillery, exploding monstrous power. The purple energy light cannon rushed straight into the sky, shining brilliantly in the dark environment shrouded by the dark clouds. He swept across a shinobu village alone, causing a bloody storm. The bright red blood stained the white snow, and the smell of blood filled the air. Nagato and others brought members of the Yuan Shao organization and directly blocked all the ninjas in a ninja village. Tsunade and Itachi are on the last line of defense, and if there are ninjas rushing in the chaos, they will be killed on the spot. Konoha Village's methods are extremely brutal and bloody, without any worries. It seems to be ready to fight the ninja world. Terumi Mei's nails overflowed with bloodline and slowly crawled towards Senju. Blood seeped from her saishue skin, dragging a blood stain on the snow covered by heavy snow. She was pale, crawling hard, her clothes soaked in acid to ragged. The cold and pain stimulate the nerves. This is the most painful suffering in her life. As a country of water, Mizukage is now extremely embarrassed and still actively surrendering to others. The ninja of the water country who could see the fighting outside, his heart was like a cramp, and the tears of suffocation flowed down from his eyes. It was their stupid decision by the top leaders of the water country that caused the current Mizukage to be so humiliated. Master Mizukage, damn it, how could Konoha be so strong? Who is that person? The warriors of the Iron Kingdom are really rubbish, but they're just paper tigers. We shouldn't trust them. Oh, we were wrong after all. Konoha's immortal gods are real. An old man in the water country who was standing far away and not attacking said with a sigh. Senju Jangsang looked at Terumi Mei, who was struggling to crawl with no expression on his face, and cast his eyes on Onogi in vain. He didn't say a word. The power of heaven and earth was no longer retained, and the giant hand Huo ran slapped and fell. Rumble. Unmatched power descended from the sky, and the space was ripped apart by this big hand to create several imaginary skies pathmarks. Among these sparks and flints, Onoki hurriedly yelled, "I'm climbing. I beg Mr. Immortal to let it go." Call. The big hand suddenly stopped on the top of Oimu, and the strong wind pressure made Oimu's old bones crackle. Puff. The mere wind pressure made Onoki unbearable. Several sternums were crushed in his chest, and blood was coughed up from his mouth. At this moment, he is more miserable and embarrassed than Terumi Mei. He was seriously injured by this strong wind. Wanting to climb to Senju Chongsheng, the pain and difficulty multiplied. But he dared not pause for a moment, dragging his wounded body, slowly crawling towards Senju Chongsheng. White marks were scratched on the nails in the ground, and the harsh sound made all the ninjas outside stop. It seemed as if the Shizune button was pressed in the arena, and only the buzzing of the clouds in the sky and the whistling of the wind and snow were left. The people from the 4 shinobu village and the samurai kingdom all stared at the scene in shock. The shadows of the 2 shinobu villages were covered in blood, and they were slowly crawling towards the grim-faced young man. The surrounding samurai knelt down on the ground, as if they were worshipping the gods, bowed their heads and felt sorry. Unwilling and angry appeared on their faces, but in the end the horrible scene before them was frightened and forced to calm down. I knew so, why bother? Senju Chongsheng said coldly. People who make mistakes will naturally be punished. Ants who challenge the giant elephant will suffer the consequences of being trampled to death. If it is not for you, there is still a little bit of use. At this moment you have turned into dust. His voice spread all over the surrounding area, and everyone could hear it clearly. Many people bowed their heads and couldn't bear to look any longer. Terumi Mei finally climbed to the feet of Senju Chongsheng. She raised her head with difficulty, and then slammed on the ground 3 times in a row. There was blood on her forehead, and she shouted with her last strength. I beg Immortal, let go. Kirigakure is wrong. After all, she passed out into a coma on the spot. Her body was stained with blood and turned into a blood. After a while, Onoki also crawled over. He is more miserable than Terumi Mei, and the bones on his body are extremely severely broken. When he climbed in front of Senju Chongsheng, there was no strength in his body. Senju Chongsheng ignored that much, just waited quietly. The silent scene and the invisible pressure made Onoki's forehead cold sweat, and his bloodless lips were chapped and trembling. Enduring severe pain, his face twisted, he lifted his head as hard as he could, and then snapped it down. Repeating this 3 times, the muffled sound of kowtow was like a big bell ringing in the heart of a ninja in the country of Earth. Their self-esteem and face collapsed to pieces at this moment. I asked Mr. Immortal to let it go. Onoki's voice was hoarse, and his tone was very aggrieved and unwilling. But in order to survive for himself, so that the ninjas of the country of the Earth can go back alive, he had to do this. Hold it down. If anyone dares to offend Konoha in the future, it won't be so easy to solve. Senju Chongsheng's figure flashed and disappeared instantly from the place. Before leaving, he took a deep look at Raikage, who was nervous. This is a warning to Raikage's wavering. I hope he will be more interesting in the future. The rest of the matter will be handled by the people in Konoha Village. Senju Chongsei's appearance to suppress other ninja villages this time was enough to make the ninja world fear Konoha for a long time. As long as he is still alive, the whole ninja world will be a little jealous of Konoha. But he himself stepped into the interior of the Iron Nation, and he asked the senior officials of the Iron Nation to ask a few words. The move that Mifune used just now is from Zoro in One Piece world. If this matter is not clear, Senju Chongsheng will be awake at night. This matter is very important. Is there a chat group in the 3 ships, or is there other people who pass through? No matter what it is, it must be taken seriously. When Senju Chongsheng came to the top of the Iron Country, everyone was crushed to the ground by the force of heaven and earth, unable to move. I ask, you answer, understand? Senju Chongsheng said lightly. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 160. Is there a traveler in the pirate world? I ask, you answer, understand? Senju Chongsheng was expressionless, and the power of heaven and earth oppressed the high levels of the Iron Kingdom, and they couldn't move on the ground. Understood. Understood, just ask, we will answer every question. A group of high-level officials nodded their heads, and they could see the sight outside just now. This guy in front of him is a ruthless character, standing still, he can make the samurai kneel and kowtow. They don't want to offend such a monster, they just ask something, there is no need to take their own lives. Very good. Senju Chongsheng smiled. Do you know the origin of the move that Mifune used just now? I know. A fat man in the upper level raised his fat arm, looking like a sly eye. A few months ago, our country of iron broke into a man with a green body, with 3 extremely well-made swords on his waist. He has a handsome face, a scar on his left eye, and a huge scar on his chest. It is cut from the left shoulder to the lower right waist. The high-level person next to him looked like a storyteller, and the more he talked, the more he enjoyed it. He even forgot his fear of Senju's longevity, and stood up directly, holding his hands. He lowered his voice and said leisurely, this man, with short green hair, looks heroic, and his dark green robe with a red belt is a perfect match for his domineering temperament. Speaking of the point, Senju Chongsheng groaned with a black face. Judging from the description of this fat guy, this guy seems to be talking about Zoro in One Piece world. It seems that something really went wrong. Zoro ran into the Hokage world? Okay, a few months ago, he suddenly appeared on the streets of Iron Country and scared many civilians and samurai. This person appeared too weird, we had to treat him as an assassin, and we will catch him first. As a result, this person's strength is extremely powerful, and the swordsmanship used surpasses all of us in the Iron Kingdom. That night, it was a scarlet night. Iron Nation has lost hundreds of samurai, but it has never been able to take them down. Chasing after, this person's figure gradually blurred. After dropping a cheat book, he disappeared without a trace. Snapped. The high-level fat man took the fan in vain and said solemnly, And that cheat book, called Pirate Swordsmanship, is exactly the technique used by the leader of the 3 ships. I don't know when or where he got the fan, but his tone and demeanor, as well as the way of telling stories, is a waste of not being a storyteller. But having said that, why does Zoro have a secret of pirate swordsmanship? This question is puzzling. According to his appearance and temperament, this person is definitely Zoro. The only doubt is the secret book he dropped. Senju Chongsheng touched his chin, and immediately disappeared from where he was. He already had a lot of guesses in his mind. First of all, Zoro's crossing problem. The first is that Zoro takes the initiative to traverse, either with help from others or with the help of the system. But from the words of the senior fat man, it can be understood that Zoro's behavior is obviously not performing a task. It's more like entering here by mistake and fleeing passively. Therefore, the second possibility arises. The existence of the 10,000 Realms chat group has made the world plane appear chaotic, and there is a very small probability that there will be a crossing phenomenon. The probability that was so small that it was almost impossible to achieve was hit by the hapless Zoro. The final disappearance was the self-repair of the world plane, which brought him back. As for other possibilities, Senju Chongsheng doesn't think it is big. If all the possibilities were to be counted, there would be too many to count. The last is the pirate swordsmanship in Zoro. This book was definitely handed over to Zoro. As for who this person is, Senju Chongsheng has a creepy guess in his mind. Another him in the Marvel parallel universe. No, the Kira Jiying both before and after are the same person, which means that parallel time and space did not give birth to a second me. What is going on? Where did Zoro's chi book come from? Senju had returned to Konoha Village from the Iron Country when he was thinking about it forever. With his current cultivation base, he could traverse the entire ninja world within an hour. Sit back home in the tea room and make a good cup of tea. The tranquil environment also opened up Senju's longevity mindset. Maybe I was in the wrong direction from the beginning. There is no second me, nor is it the influence of the Marvel parallel universe. Senju Chongsheng took a sip of the tea and thought in his heart, maybe it's just someone who has crossed into the pirate world, and then met Zoro, and researched the moves together with him. Through the understanding of the original work, Zoro was inspired to create from no swordsmanship to 9 swordsmanship. This book was written by the Traverser. It can be said that it was shown to Zoro and also for himself. He put down his teacup, his eyes bright. The more I think about it, the more I feel that this possibility is very great. Zoro's crossing, perhaps because of the confusion of the world plane, accidentally strayed into the world of ninja. After thinking about everything, Senju no longer struggled, and he logged in directly to the end chat group. Senju Chongsheng. At Portgas d'Ace, I need you to find someone for me, a member of your brother's pirates, named Zoro. Portgas d'Ace. Did he offend you? Senju Chongsheng. No, I need to investigate one thing. After you find him, ask him if he suddenly came to a strange place for a while. Just ask Ace to go over and check, and Senju Chongsheng will know the ins and outs of things. If it is exactly what he thought, then in the world of pirates, I am afraid there is another Traverser. Portgas d'Ace. Okay, I see, Portgas d'Ace. Recently, Luffy just went to sea again and came to New World. I will set out now. Ding. Yi Fan uploaded the Sun Truth Sendai Scroll. Yi Fan. I finally found the Sendai Scroll, and it's the Sun Genjing Sendai Scroll. Saitama. Huh? There are exercises again, but I can't afford it. Bibong. Are these exercises expensive? Edward Newgate. It is indeed very expensive. I have contributed so many devil fruits, and I can't afford a few of them. Tanjiro Chiaoman. Miss Bibong can see the prices in the file. You will definitely think that it is more difficult to obtain these things than to get to the sky. Seeing this, Bibong opened her red lips slightly. It's better to keep silent after thinking about it. In case these group members knew that what they had always dreamed of was given to her by Senju at will. It will definitely collapse directly, shouting to be a puppet. Sendai roll. Yes, this is what I am looking forward to most, but I remember the perfect Sendai, where the Sun and Taiyin scriptures are co-cultivators, and the Yin and Yang work together to be the strongest Sendai. Download and practice first. Yi Fan should be able to get the Taiyin Genjing soon. Click to download for Senju Chongsheng. No points are required for group owner privileges. Don't be too cool. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 161 Sendai. Grab someone. Transform into the sun god consciousness. Wash away all chi. Refine the true sun, and rebel against good fortune. Senju Chongsheng sits close to his home, silently comprehending the sun's scriptures. In the center of his eyebrows, there was a gleam of light rushing up, which shook Sun Jing. Inspire the refinement of the sun to know the sea, just to purify the red dust and achieve pure and impurity-free divine consciousness. From Huolong to the first level of Sendai, the power of divine consciousness is the one who cultivates. The so-called divine mind is similar to observation Haki, but it is more powerful. Senju Chongsheng feels like the sun is incarnate, and the meridians in his body emit bright golden light. The endless Shenhua and Rijing are connected by the meridians, and the temperature in his body is hot and frightening. The secret realm of Sendai is divided into 6 layers. In cultivating the pure land within the brain, each level of heaven is comparable to a great realm, and each level of talent is divided into 9 small steps. From the first floor of Sendai to the second floor of Sendai, the degree of leaping is the same as the quadruple leaping to the dragon, which is penultimate. Senju Chongsheng's spiritual energy surges all over his body, turning into a whirlpool of energy, which is absorbed frantically. The spine turned into a golden dragon, rushing straight into the sky. The heavy snow and dark clouds outside Konoha Village all washed away in an instant. The warm sunshine came in, and there was a golden dragon roaring in the sky. The magnificent scene attracted the attention of the residents of Konoha Village. What is that? I bet a piece, it is definitely Mr. Immortal that created such a sight. Fuck you, do you need to say? Mr. Immortal must have become stronger? Fortunately, the birth of Mr. Immortal is Konoha. His presence can protect Konoha's prosperity for hundreds of years. Mr. Immortal, Konoha is like a long night, tisk tut, that's right. The villagers talked happily and admired Senju in their hearts. No matter what realm he broke through, he didn't attract anyone's jealousy. Yes, it's just more awe in my heart. While the golden dragon soared into the sky, Senju Chongsheng also flew out of his home. Sendai Thunder Tribulation. No dark clouds appeared in the sky, but more and more thunder dragons ushered in, escaping from the void. Rumble. Senju Chongsheng's golden dragon turned into a spine, strangling the thunder dragon frontally, making a roar. And he himself was in the air, under the bombardment of thunder and lightning. The appearance of the wind and the light, without any pressure, let the thunder and lightning strike. The skin of his whole body began to glow with golden light, like a round of the sun. A large expanse of the sun's essence exhaled from his breath in his breath, and the hot and dazzling fire light made the heavens and the earth dim. With the light getting more and more prosperous, the thunder dragon in the air was also gradually defeated in this battle, and the thunder light in the sky turned into rain and dew. Senju's cultivation base and aura climbed layer by layer, and the power of divine consciousness swept out. The first floor of Sendai, the ninth order Zochin. The rumbling gradually dissipated, and Senju Chongsheng stood high in the sky. The bright sun shines on it as the background. An indescribable empty inspiration radiated from him, making the residents of the village yearn for. I was so reverent that I wanted to kneel and kowtow, worship and surrender to him. Senju Chongsheng slowly fell home, and the spirit of the spirit on his body dissipated. Although his strength has greatly increased in Sendai, it is still not enough for him to break through the power of immortality. This is the only small regret. At this moment, Yifan in the chat group suddenly sent a message asking for help. Yifan. At Senju Chongsheng, is Mr. Immortal free? I may need your help. Senju Chongsheng. Yes, just after the breakthrough, what's the situation on your side? Yifan. I just broke through. Yun. Yifan actually needs help, which is really surprising. Ainzer Gong. It's really surprising. In my impression, Yifan is singing all the way, and his cultivation speed is even more frightening, as if he never encountered bottlenecks and dangers. Yifan shook his head and smiled bitterly. Mr. Ains joked, this is my bloody way. Limrutern Pest. Is there a big problem? Mr. Immortal is going to do it. Yifan. It's not a big deal, it's just that my friend was forced to marry, and the target of the forced marriage is still one of my mortal enemies. Yifan. I want to get rid of this person, but I was blocked by 2 great ancient families. Wang Tang's child is hiding in Ji's house and I want Mr. Immortal to help me break in. Limrutern Pest. Oh, my girlfriend was forced to marry, this is a big deal. Doryaji. Haki. Shiyu Shajichu. Snatching relatives. It's really a wonderful performance. Please be sure to start the live broadcast. Hakuan Sagiri. Come on, brother Yifan, blow them up. Gojo Satoru. Interesting. Get rid of the beauty's unmarried objects, and then marry the beauties by yourself. Yifan. This. Yifan, it's not what you think. I really have a grudge against Wang Tang. Saving Zaoi is the second thing. Tony Stark. Got it. If Wang Tang deserved to let the Yifan brothers come to kick the hall, it really was for the sake of beauty. Gojo Go. I understand, I know, Edward Newgate. Hula la la la, Yifan's lil friend really Haki, men take it like this. Know what a fart, I know making up and making trouble all day long. In the world covering the sky, Yifan was full of black lines. These funny friends, the more they explain to them, the more outrageous the results they get. Seeing Yifan's request, Senju Changsheng's eyes rolled. Senju Changsheng. I can help you, but I need a drop of your blood. Hearing that, Yifan felt a little strange, but he didn't care too much. He is an ancient sacrament, and a drop of his blood is extremely powerful. It is not surprising that Mr. Immortal would want his blood. As for how the ancient Eucharist was learned by Mr. Immortal, let alone. In front of Mr. Immortal, there is no secret at all. Yifan. No problem, just a drop of blood. Senju Chongsheng. That's fine, I can go there now, remember to be happy. Yifan. No problem, thank you Mr. Immortal for coming. The space transmission channel emerged again. Senju stepped forward, and the picture in front of him also changed. An ancient atmosphere spreads over the surface, and the rich aura of heaven and earth makes people feel more comfortable. Surrounded by green grass, towering trees covering the sky, and under the gloomy woods, stood a handsome young man. It is Yi Fan who covers the world. Welcome, Mr. Immortal, to the Big Dipper Star territory. Yi Fan stepped forward and said with a smile. At the same time, he also took out a delicate bottle. What's in it is a drop of my blood. Senju Chongsheng stretched out his hand to take it, and said lightly, this drop of blood will be condensed into a spirit ring by me. Once the spirit ring succeeds, you will become my disciple. After the last misunderstanding explanation, Senju Chongsheng finally came up with a slightly lie explanation. Your disciple? Yi Fan was shocked. Damn, there is such a good thing? Being able to become a disciple of Mr. Immortal is simply the greatest opportunity in the world. After becoming a disciple of Mr. Immortal, isn't it possible to get the full set of Immortal Longevity Gong directly? Yi Fan would like to be a disciple of Mr. Immortal. Yi Fan Gong Tamari bowed, sincere and sincere. Senju Chongsheng nodded, knowing that the other party should have some small misunderstandings, but the difference is actually not that big. Once he refines Yi Fan's essence and blood, he will definitely teach Yi Fan with all his strength, and it is not an exaggeration to say that he is a disciple. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 162 Yi Fan's Master. After Senju Chongsheng received the essence and blood, he curled the blood out with aura. The golden blood exudes an ancient atmosphere. If there are other people here, I'm afraid I can't help stepping forward to snatch it. The essence and blood of the ancient sacrament is comparable to a treasure medicine, which contains rich vitality. Said blood is actually more like liquid medicine. A round of black spirit rings rose from Senju's longevity body, bursting into dark light. He put his fingertips on the blood, and the invisible puppet swallowed the blood. The rich vitality flows in Senju Chongsheng's throat and enters every meridian in the body. The golden blood is like a human body medicine, constantly nourishing his body in the process of being refined. Senju Chongsheng's physical body was strengthened at this moment. The bones and muscles are moving, making a crisp sound. Hum. A crimson halo rose from his body, floating above his head. The red spirit ring represents 10,000 years. The blessing of Yi Fan's body attributes is already comparable to 10,000 years soul beasts. Senju doesn't know exactly how much it is, but judging from the bloody red color, it is definitely not bad. Let's go, you will be my disciple from now on, and I will teach you all of my things. Senju Chongsheng retracted his spirit ring, and all the voices in Yi Fan's heart could be heard in his mind. Immortal. Master, please follow me. Yi Fan jumped directly into the air, fast enough to break the speed of sound. However, Senju Chongsheng leisurely followed behind, and while following indifferently, he still had the heart to watch the scenery here. The planet is so vast that it can hardly describe Senju's longevity. In a region, a mortal walks from start to finish, and he can't finish it for a lifetime. Between region and region, even monks can hardly cross. The communication between regions all need to use the teleportation array to reach it. Yi Fan had the foresight, and his location was not far from Ji's house. With Yi Fan moving forward at full speed, it took less than 30 minutes. He came to the outside of the ancient palace of Ji's family. Although it was not inside the ancient palace, the surroundings were already like a curvy fairyland. The flue gas is evaporating, and the rays of light are gushing. The swaying branches are shining and exude a charming fragrance. There are many distinguished guests in the hall of Ji's forbidden city. Many big forces visited and gave precious gifts. Wang Teng's father, Wang Chengkun, was in the center of many people, talking freely about his son. My son Wang Teng has the emperor's capital, the words he said over and over again. Hearing others' ears are about to become calluses. Didn't it mean that the Eucharist is coming? Why hasn't it appeared yet? Someone whispered at a banquet table. Today, all forces have gathered here, all of them are for the dispute between Yi Fan and Wang Teng. Not long ago, Yi Fan learned that Ji Zaiwei was going to marry, and it was still time to marry Wang Teng. He directly spread the word in the air, wanting to take Wang Tengu's life today. Anyway, timid, I dare not come. The Wang family sneered, and everyone around them agreed, ridiculing them undisguisedly. HMPH, why does he compete with my son, Ants? What is the holy physique? My brother is a boon to the great emperor. The holy physique can't set off any storms, and coming here is nothing but death. Boom! In vain, a loud noise came from the distant sky. The terrifying breath came, and the ancient palace of Ji's family also shook with it. Who? Ha! The Ji family expert asked, but he forced it in vain. It was not Yi Fan they were familiar with that first landed at the door of Ji's house, but a handsome young man who exuded a calm atmosphere. The smile on his face is like a spring breeze. A cool outfit, in sharp contrast with the conservative Taoist gowns of everyone. He punched the 6 paths black hole directly, and the Ji family void defense array shook violently, making a snoring noise. Boom! With a loud noise, the void defense array instantly collapsed. The mighty spiritual energy blew in, lifted the door wall of the Ji family hall, and broke a large hole several meters wide. At this time, a familiar figure struck, and Agile fell beside this person. Yi Fan brought Master to visit Ji's house and cut Wang Teng. The words were thunderous, and everyone heard them. The postures of Yi Fan and Senju Chongsheng are extremely strong. As soon as he arrived here, he exploded the Ji family's void defense formation, and even the door wall in the ancient palace was broken on the spot. There was a brief silence, and then there was an uproar. Yi Fan is really here, and, come with Master, when did he have a teacher? Is this Master and others like him again? Actually hit the Ji family defensive formation with a punch? Everyone in the ancient palace stood up and walked out to check. Ha 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 ha, awesome brother Fan, when did you hug your thighs? Yi Fan's good brother Pang Bo ran out of Ji's house, very excited. He is the descendant of the Demon Emperor, so he is also qualified to be a guest at Ji's house. But Pang Bo has always been anxious about Yi Fan, a good brother, no matter when. Your Excellency, can't you be an enemy of my Ji family? Ji family Danang shouted sharply. Senju Chongsheng smiled. It's okay to bring disciples to visit Ji's house. It's not an enemy, and you are not qualified to be an enemy of me. The 8th patriarch of the Ji family looked cold and walked out at the same time. The ancient mirror of the void floats high in the sky, emitting this void energy magnetic field. With this imperial soldier in hand, let your supernatural powers and world-defying cultivation bases be suppressed on the spot. Your Excellency is so big, you deserve to be the master of the holy physique, but you don't know his name, the master of unknown origin? The 8th patriarch of the Ji family spoke with indifference and sarcasm in his voice. No matter how strong the master is, it is impossible to be presumptuous in Ji's house. They are an ancient family. Call me immortal. Senju Chongsheng said calmly, get out of the way, the Ji family can't stop me. If it weren't for the little princess of the Ji family and the face of Yi Fan's wife, he wouldn't have said so much. But obviously, his kindness is not understood. In the eyes of all of you, this person is just a pretense. Maybe even the brain is pretty funny, I don't know how high the sky is. Let the king vacate and fight with my disciple. Senju Chongsheng said again, his voice much colder than before. Just relying on you and a Eucharist, I want my brother to come out, it's really big. Boom. Before the sarcasm from Wang Teng's clansmen could finish, Senju Chongsheng's palm lightly waved. A giant hand covering the sky swept out, the wind was fierce, and the person was instantly photographed into blood mist. Everyone looked shocked, and the Wang family was even more furious. Someone dared to kill their family disciples in front of them. The most embarrassing thing is that the Wang family failed to react. This is simply a shame, boldly, dare to kill people in front of the Ji family and the Wang family, and be punished. Rumble. A great power on the second floor of the Wang family Sendai made a move in vain, driving the world. He wanted to slap Senju Chongsheng to death with a palm to take revenge. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 163 The world is moving. Every move of Sendai power can bring about changes in the scene. Covering the sky with big hands, he flooded Senju Chongsheng. The mighty power pressed the ground down, like a giant's palm slapped down, causing the earth to vibrate at this moment. The hurricane swept across, and Senju Chongsheng, who stood in the center of his big hand, still had that breezy smile on his face. It seemed that he couldn't see the big hand in front of him, even Yi Fan beside him had the same calm expression. Boom. Senju Chongsheng flicked his finger, and a burst of chi exploded in front of him. The white vigor spread from both sides, drew two deep marks of the abyss. Facing this outrageous blow, he just moved his finger and easily blocked it. Such an understatement of resolving methods caused everyone to take a breath of cold breath, and their hearts were shocked. It seems that the Wang family is ready for annihilation. Senju Chongsheng faintly glanced at the powerful Wang clan who made the shot. Yi Fan, I will kill the rest of the Wang clan for you, you go and kill Wang Teng. Clear. Yi Fan grinned, the divine brilliance burst out from his body, and the ground was shattered every inch. Wait, your Excellency really wants to do something in my Ji's house? The 8th patriarch of the Ji family hurriedly shouted. He finally understood that the other party's coming was extraordinary, and this strength was enough to make them face it. It's your own choice. Senju Chongsheng responded indifferently. Wait a minute, what do you call it? Is it possible to just kill people in the Ji family? One of the 8 ancestors of the Ji family stepped forward. Although the ancestors have passed away, the divine soil of the great emperor's past years cannot be desecrated. Those who dare to offend, there is no living soul under the ancient mirror of the void. This is a naked threat. The void mirror rotates in the air, once the holy light falls, no one can resist. Hearing that, Senju Chongsheng sneered a few times and didn't bother with him. Yi Fan stepped forward and said, I came to see Zaiwi, and at the same time to kill Wang Teng, let Zaiwi come to see me. The 8th patriarch of the Ji family sneered, just about to say something, but was blocked. The holy master of the Ji family came and said, let Zaiwi come. Also let Teng'er come out, and let this communion see what is the gift of the emperor. Wang Chengkun also ordered a child. Not long after, a purple-clothed girl flew like a fairy. The black hair is like a cloud, his pretty face is like jade, his big eyes are incomparably ethereal, and the inside is beautiful. Purple moon. Seeing the girl come out, Yi Fan took 2 steps forward with joy. Little leaf. Ji Ziyu's mouth opened into an O shape, but Yi Fan unexpectedly came. I heard that you were forced to marry, I will help you out. Upon hearing this, Ji Ziyu's big eyes were suddenly crescent-shaped, revealing a moving smile. There is a slight ruddy on the delicate face. Rumble. In the distance, a golden ancient chariot rang, emitting a ray of light, dragons and phoenix hummed together, and the holy light fell. The sacred brilliance is rolling in, overwhelming the sky. With such a grand debut, who else besides Wang Teng? Obviously he was in Ji's house, and he had to come in a chariot, so he was not afraid of embarrassment. Holy physique, are you here to die? How dare you dare to beat my fiancé? Wang Teng's indifferent voice came, shaking for hundreds of miles. Yi Fan didn't look at him, but looked at Ji Ziyu's pretty face and said, as long as you don't want to, I will take you away today. Of course I don't agree. Ji Ziyu smiled at Yi Fan, extremely bright and moving. The sun in the sky dimmed for a while. Well, I'll kill him. Yi Fanhuo turned to face Wang Teng. Don't be ashamed of speaking. Wang Teng yelled coldly and landed heavily, raising a wave of dust. Everyone, be calm and restrained. A veteran of the Ji family stood up and didn't want these people to fight in Ji's family. After all the major forces were here as guests. Once the fight starts, no matter who wins, it is the Ji family who loses face. Humph. There is a lot of nonsense, go and kill Wang Teng, no one can move you with me. Senju Chongsheng really couldn't stand it, his whole body exploded with spiritual energy, and Tianan's cultivation base controlled the power of heaven and earth. Rumble. Suddenly, a tall and majestic golden shadow stood in its position, like a god descending to the earth, overlooking the common people. Although he said that he was protecting Yi Fan, in fact he was the first to rush into Ji's house, and hit Wang Teng's father, Wang Chengkun, with a punch. Yi Fan also burst out his whole body strength at this moment, rushing towards Wang Teng head-on. The battle between the two sides is on the verge. Bold. A powerful Wang family rushed out first and stood in front of Wang Chengkun. Senju Chongsheng's eyes were cold, with the mighty power of heaven and earth. His spiritual energy shattered the void, and he punched the powerful king into blood mist. Strong and unmatched posture, whether it is the Wang family or the Ji family, or those spectators who come to join in the fun. All were shocked by the crushing power in front of them. The powerful Wang clan who exploded, but a real powerhouse of the immortal realm. The Ji family masters stepped forward at the same time, spit out a source of essence energy, used the king's secret technique, and burned this area with flames. The magic treasure of the 8 Gate of 5 Flowers is sacrificed, the flame-breathing purple gourd, the flickering sword tire, the sledgehammer lingering thunder. However, these Senju eternal lives are like a god, taking one step forward, shaking the sky and the earth. The golden curse turned into aura particles, rotating and blooming all over the body. The golden emperor Fan Tianyan burned blazingly on his fist, and the motion of shaking his fist was flowing, drawing 2 golden curves. Boom boom boom. In an instant. Whether it is a magic weapon or the secret technique of the essence, it is all like paper, and it is directly smashed by his fist. The magic weapon rots into pieces, the secret technique shakes the source essence, and the vision collapses. Puff. A ray of blood rushed up, and Senju Chongsheng once again punched a master of the Wang family. In the next instant, he appeared in front of another powerful Sendai, with the same power of a punch, and the blood suddenly appeared. Puff. 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 In this short half-breath, everyone's eyes could not keep up with Senju's speed. More than 10 people in Sendai were killed in a row. Blood beads spilled down from the sky, dyeing this sacred imperial soil red. At first, the scene was silent, then it was boiling. Why, how could this happen? Those Wang family horses who didn't rush forward, cold sweat was on their foreheads at this moment. That's the Sendai powerhouse of the Wang family, so he died? The spectator in the corner suddenly exclaimed. Who is this guy and how can he be so powerful? Ji family 8th ancestor said solemnly. More than a dozen powerful Sendai masters of the Wang family, just like making tofu, others just punched them out. Even the holy master of the Ji family couldn't react, and his back was completely wet with sweat. He couldn't see the opponent's attack clearly just now, if this person wants to kill him. I'm afraid it only takes a thought. What's the use of the ancient void mirror left by the emperor? He didn't even have the opportunity to use the imperial soldiers, so what's the effect? Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 164. More than a dozen powerful kings who died violently were all above the Shentai realm. Many of them have reached the 2nd floor of Sendai, and even the king-level existence of the 3rd floor of Sendai. When Senju Chongsheng looked back at Wang Chengkun, the hairs on his body stood up in fright. This guy. Wang Chengkun's pupils shrank suddenly, only to feel a strong wind blowing on his face. Sage Shu came out for the explosion without reservation. He couldn't see Senju Chongsheng's figure, and could only follow the direction of the strong wind to throw his punches. Boom. Senju Chongsheng's figure suddenly appeared. The fist covered by the Golden Emperor burning Tianyan exuded bright golden light, and blasted on Wang Chengkun mercilessly. The power of a punch, the endless void collapses. The space is like shingles collapsed and scattered, and there is no knowing how many black abysses there are. There is a sound like a landslide and a tsunami, and there are stars twinkling, that is the boundless universe. This blow is earth-shattering. The two were almost overwhelmed by the ocean of divine power and spiritual energy, and the field was almost boiling. The huge impact and energy ripples shook many people screaming in pain, bleeding in their ears, and retreating one after another. And Wang Chengkun was punched through his chest, and his body flew out and crashed into the Ji family ancient palace. Boom! 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 A splendid building collapsed instantly, and under the impact of this ripple, it turned into dust and dust. Friends of the Taoist still hope to stop. This is the ancient palace of the Ji family. The eighth ancestor of the Ji family and the holy master of the Ji family hurriedly shouted, and at the same time the void realm appeared out of nowhere. The light shone towards Senju Chongsheng, trying to prevent his continued destruction. The Ji family is going to do something to me. Are you thinking about it? Senju Chongsheng suddenly looked back and shouted coldly. The voice was loud and stunned, and everyone in the Ji family had a sudden stop, and there was a panic in their hearts. Even the light of the void mirror reflected in it disappeared in vain at this moment. No one dared to try to suppress Senju Chongsheng with a virtual mirror. This guy in front of him is a fierce man. Even now, no one can see what kind of cultivation is Senju Chongsheng. Is the fifth floor sage king of Sendai? Or is it the legendary sixth tier great sage? As for the higher realm, no one dares to think about it. Those who can be stronger than the great sage must retreat in a forbidden zone, or sleep for a long time. Whether there is even a stronger existence in this world is just a mystery. The great sage can be said to be the invincible in this world. This fuck, where did the master of the Eucharist come from? Why haven't you heard of it before? Senior. This is the place of my Ji family. I hope I can save face and go outside to fight. The Ji family's holy master smiled wryly. What they call Senju Jongsei, from the beginning of the Lord, to the current predecessor. This shows that his disdain for Senju's strength has gradually turned into awe. This is how the world respects the strong. As long as you are strong, even a baby who is just a few years old can be called a senior. Sorry, I don't have this habit. Senju Chongsheng sneered and turned his head. The aura of his whole body climbed again, as if the emperor descended to the earth, with long hair flying and glowing. The sky was densely covered with dark clouds, resembling a whirlpool, with lightning surging inside. With the power of Tianjun, thoughts can drive the wind and clouds to move. Protect the patriarch, the remaining Wang family Da Neng hurriedly exclaimed. Before Senju Chongsheng was intercepted by a group of powerful and desperate, the king's secret technique was released. The original essence permeates this space, but Ruix's brilliant light possesses invisible murderous intent. Senju Chongsheng's complexion was flat, and the golden light curse enveloped his whole body, ignoring these original secret techniques, and slammed head-on. Boom boom boom. The roar is endless, and the collision of the essence and the aura erupts with a power that shakes the earth and the earth. One by one big pits exploded, a piece of Madara barge. While the smoke and dust filled the sky, there was still blood splattering the sky. Senju Chongsheng has no reservations, every punch can shatter the void, and the dark scars are extremely terrifying. He is like a demon descending to the earth, with every move, he can overthrow the world. The remaining powerhouses of the king's family were swept and wiped out. No one can stop Senju Chongsheng's footsteps, raise his hands, and kill all enemies in front of him. Boom. When he approached Wang Chengkun's face, he stepped directly on his face. Wang Chengkun, who had just eased from his faint, suddenly his brain trembles violently again. His face touched the floor, a mud pit was shaken, and the building was lifted from the center of the two. I can see the angina in Ji's family, but they dare not say anything. Every building here has to spend a lot of effort in carving when it is constructed, and the workmanship is so exquisite that people can't find a trace of flaws. The items in the building are extremely expensive, and many of them are priceless. But all of this was destroyed during Senju's violent beating of Wang Chengkun. Wang Chengkun was beaten to death, with blood flowing in his mouth, nose and ears, and his eyes were bruised and swollen. He. Wang Chengkun said with a hoarse smile. You dare not kill me, my son is Wang Teng. With luck, you are afraid that he will become an emperor. Snapped. Senju Chongsheng suddenly slapped his face with a slap, and his eyes flashed in pain, and said lightly, I won't kill you, just to show you how your turtle son was beaten by Yi Fan. After all, he directly picked up Wang Chengkun and faced him on the battlefield between Yi Fan and Wang Teng. It was only at this site that the battle between Yi Fan and Wang Teng had reached a fierce stage. The battlefield between Yi Fan and Wang Teng is no worse than that of Senju Chongsheng. The void is distorted, and all 10 directions are destroyed. I don't know how many void abysses appeared in the world, extending to different planes. Cross star field cross. Wang Teng yelled in a low voice. Both hands were drawn hard, and a huge cross crack appeared in the sky. Yi Fan urged the black gourd to disintegrate with a monstrous holy flame. The black gourd in his eyebrows throbbed, and the divine fire burst out, instantly flooding Wang Tang. What? Wang Tang screamed. Half of his body was lit, and he screamed sternly. The fire is like a sea, and it is everywhere, as if it has ignited the world. There is no other thing, only the nine-colored mist lingering. Tunger. Dying Wang Chenkun yelled in a low voice. If Wang Tang loses, then all of this will end, and the Wang family will never be able to raise its head anymore. At this time, Wang Tang's eyebrows, the bright light of a walnut-sized rune flickered, like a rising sun, exhaling essence, full of vitality. The nine-color holy flame on his body was blown out instantly. Chaotic ancient emperor talisman, a living fossil figure exclaimed. Yi Fan didn't care, since he had escaped the burning of the holy flame, he would cut it again. He took a step forward and punched out the vision of Bungtian. The word secret before the 9 secrets. Wang Tang muttered in his heart. He wanted to use the 9 secrets to kill the enemy. The first word secret, the cultivation of the soul, can make the divine consciousness immortal, can even affect the physical body, expand the divinity, incomparable. Reaching a high level, you can also have a foreboding of everything in advance. Simply put, it means that ideas affect reality, and even see through the past, the present, and the future. This is similar to Wanda's chaos magic. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 165 Brother Yi is awesome. At this time, Wang Tang had sent out the field of knowledge of the sea from the previous word tactics, invisible and traceless, and the soul was cut. But even so, Yi Fan's background is more profound and terrifying. At the same time as the battle's sacred law evolves, fight with the golden Tai Chi circle. Then he launched the Bing Ziju, and sacrificed the black gourd, spitting flames to Wang Tang. The two started an earth-shattering battle again, and the void and abyss were shattered one after another, and the scene was extremely shocking. But Yi Fan is not the Yi Fan in the original book. Now he not only possesses the immortal longevity Kungfu, but also a ridiculous ancient sacrament who cultivates the power of idols and prisons. The golden idol phantom roared towards the sky, shaking the heavens and the earth. There are 5 ancient scriptures: Taoism, Western Emperor Jing, Hongyu Jing, Tai Huang Jing, and Sun Zhen Jing. There is also the power of immortality and longevity that complement each other, and the 2 major cultivation systems resonate to play the sound of the great Tao. He fought more and more fiercely, and under the evolution of the holy method of fighting, he gradually gained the upper hand, and even crushed it. Puff! Wang Tang's body rotted into mud and splashed out. Yi Fan stepped on Xingza Mi to keep up in an instant, his whole body shone, and Wang Tang's head was blown with a punch. The sky is red and blue with blood, and the world is bleak. The heroes were shocked, and the reincarnated ancient emperor fell. Tenger! Wang Chenkun screamed in anger, but the next moment he went black. Boom! At the end of the game, Senju Chongsheng squeezed his head on the spot without giving the opponent a chance. The powerful kings who came to visit the Ji family were all killed in this battle. Even Wang Tang, known as the Northern Emperor, was killed in public by the Eucharist. The Ji family wanted to intercept, but they glanced at Senju Chongsheng, who was shrouded in golden light, and the thoughts in his heart dissipated on the spot. The big figures of all forces can only swallow their saliva and quietly watch the king's family and horses die one by one. No one dared to help. At the same time, I was wondering which living fossil the mysterious and invincible creature in front of me was. Such a cultivation base must be a brilliant man from a certain glorious era. Who is this senior? He is really an invincible powerhouse. I didn't expect Yi Fan to have such a powerful master, it was me who miscalculated. What Northern Emperor? He claimed to be Northern Emperor before he became an emperor. Isn't this a shot at the head? That's right, the Eucharist is really terrifying. Any ancient emperor's reincarnation is imaginary, and only his own strength is true. Yi Fan's victory made Zhu Shang whisper. The limelight directly turned 180 degrees, no one ridiculed Yi Fan anymore, all were admiration. Among them, there are people who slap Senju's flattery and praise Yi Fan, which is actually to please Senju. Invincible in the world. Such a thigh, once hugged, can help everyone's family become the head of the ancient family in one fell swoop. Enjoy the feeling of being under one person and above hundreds of millions of people. The murderous air on Yi Fan hasn't dissipated yet. He walked up to Senju Chongsheng and said respectfully, "Master, I have killed Wang Tang's child." Good. Senju Chongsheng nodded lightly, and immediately looked at the Ji family. I and my disciples will stay at your Ji family for a few more days, do you have any comments? Hearing that the invincible creatures in front of them would take the Eucharist to rest in Ji's house, all the strong in Ji's family were ecstatic at the same time. This is a great opportunity to build relationships, how can it be bad? If you are satisfied with the other party, you can even pull the invincible creature and the saint into the Ji family. Of course it's okay, seniors please. The Saint Master Ji family nodded eagerly, and even planned to marry Ji Zaiwi to Yi Fan in his heart. Under the guidance of the Holy Lord of the Ji family, Senju Chongsheng muttered a sign in silently in his heart. Open black lens bracket ding. Zishan world sign in is successful, congratulations on obtaining. Ancient Eucharist, close black lens bracket. Click. Click. While walking, Senju Chongsheng's body suddenly made a slight skeletal change sound, so weak that only he could hear it. As the system rewards fall, the sea of bitterness in the body turns into gold. A chaotic green lotus was planted in the body, giving birth to the vision of a beautiful river and mountain. The black and white mysterious chi turns into a yin and yang image of life and death. A figure appeared above the sea of suffering, sitting cross-legged, looking exactly the same as Senju Chongsheng. Like the fairy king entrenched in the golden sea of bitterness, the light shines on the 9 heavens. Many stars are floating high in the sky, and a chaotic world has evolved directly in his body. This is the vision of the ancient Eucharist. Any vision against the vision of the Eucharist will lose its effect. The ancient sacred body is invincible from evil, invincible at the same level, and invincible in the flesh. Blood chi is naturally extremely resistant to various evil forces. At the same level, the strength and combat power are far better than ordinary monks. It can smash the magic weapon of the same level with bare hands, comparable to the blood of the great emperor. Senju Chongsheng was very surprised. He didn't expect the reward this time to be so generous. Directly got the same wild ancient sacred body as Yifan. Strange, how'd I feel Master's breath, as if suddenly becoming closer to me? Yifan was puzzled. The same as the ancient sacrament, naturally there will be a special feeling. Once the seeds of the Eucharist fell into Yifan's body, they could use powerful power temporarily. It can be seen that the visions between the Eucharist can be shared, and it is normal to be able to sense each other. It's just that Senju's longevity cultivation is too strong, so Yifan can only vaguely perceive something unusual. Senior, we are here, this is your resting place. The holy master of the Ji family smiled and led them to the glorious building deep in the interior. This is no longer a welcoming area, but an internal residence of the Ji family. The environment is very comfortable, full of aura, and the Shenxia is just like a fairyland. There are ling cranes drinking water by the lake, crimson sparrows are flying in the air, and immortal medicines are scented in the golden fields. Yes, your Ji family's previous rudeness, I won't pursue it. Senju Chongsheng nodded and smiled. Yes, thank you for the great kindness of seniors. If something happens, you can order your subordinates to find me and leave first. The holy master of the Ji family didn't do much talk, and it was the safest to wait for a few days to come back and get close. Sitting in the pavilion, the servants of the Ji family were a little afraid in their hearts, but their hands were extremely gentle, pouring crystal clear dew on Senju Chongsheng and Yifan. The rich aroma and vitality made the hearts of Senju Chongsheng and Yifan quiet. Tony Stark. Tisk Tusk, it's a fairyland, I didn't expect Yifan. Ah no, it is Yi Ji's world power system that is so terrifying. Gojo Satoru. What a terrible battle, I feel that my strength is really weak. Saitama. So strong, I want to fight Yifan. When Senju Chongsheng and Yifan came to Ji's house, they had already started the live broadcast. The power of the Zetian world was finally revealed to everyone for the first time. Whether it's Senju Chongsheng's second killing of the Wang family powerhouse, or Yifan and Wang Teng's battle of Tianzhou. The members of the group were so shocked that their jaws almost fell. The power of Mr. Immortal is far above their imagination. Yifan's strength made them feel surprised and sweaty. Was Brother Yi so awesome? Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 166 Guiding Yifan Menyashi. It's really hidden, I suddenly want to see if I can get Yifan's card. Was. Congratulations. The identity of another strong man in the chat group has been exposed. Zhen Zhao Da Ji Yu. That's amazing. Yasuo. This kind of power is far away from me, but I will catch up to the death. Tanjiro Chiaoman. I want to know how many hidden powerhouses in the group. Yun Yun. Who knows, I always feel that there are not a few, especially the new group of people we don't understand at all. Edward Newgate. La la, it's worthy of the great world, as expected, one is better than one, and the strong on the sea are nothing but so. Shajichu Shiyu. Mr. Tony, can you make the armor against Yifan? Tony Stark. This. Ainzel Christine. Ha, isn't this embarrassing, Tony? Yifan. Everything is the help of Master, if there is no chat group, I can't reach this point. In the world covering the sky, Senju Chongsheng drank the fairy dew, and when he saw Yifan's message, his eyes moved inadvertently. Without his help, Yifan would also be very strong, but he couldn't win so easily. Yifan's words are somewhat humble. Acedes. Master? Do you worship Mr. Immortal as a teacher? Polygonum cuspidatum yohito. Ah yeah, apprentice? When did it happen? Limrutran Pest. If I'm not wrong, it should be Mr. Immortal's apprenticeship in the past, right? Before Senju Chongsheng went to Yifan's world, Yifan also called him Mr. Immortal. But now it is suddenly called Master, and the changes before and after are easy to think of. But Duluo's Bibi Dong didn't think so, she thought Yifan should be like herself, becoming the puppet of Mr. Immortal. Yifan. Yes, Mr. Immortal just accepted me as a disciple. Ace Day. This is too enviable, I also want to be the favorite of Mr. Immortal. Ah no, apprentice. Polygonum cuspidatum urine. Mr. Yifan has taken off. Zhang Jue. Ha ha ha, compared to this, I am more concerned about the world power system of little friend Yifan, and I feel that the exercises he uploaded are also good. Saitama. It is indeed very strong, Yifan's power system in the world. Gojo Satoru. When I said that, I felt the same way. It just so happened that I had come to the end of the spell, and it was time to get in touch with something different. Because of the World War I, Wu Tiaowu has already scored a lot of points, and can always change any technique. He has flowed to the present, and he hasn't exchanged for anything. Yifan. I am a two-system dual cultivation, and I feel that Mr. Immortal's immortality can go further. Zhang Jue. In this case, we also have to adopt a dual system. Gojo. +1. Manyashi. I want to try too. Tanjiro Chiaoman. Is this the benefit of more points? The start is a dual system. Beatrice. It's enviable. Senju Chongsheng. At Baikui C, have you done it right over there? Emilia seems to be a bit dependent on it now. Beatrice. Isn't Miss Emilia not cute? Senju Chongsheng. This is not her world. Beatrice. Well, what you said makes sense. When Mr. Immortal is free, send her back. We've got everything done here. Senju Chongsheng. Okay. After quitting the chat group, Senju Chongsheng drank a glass of Shanlu again. Looking at the sky, he could clearly feel it. There is a pair of pupils, looking in from the Forbidden Land. Yifan's protector Ruthless Emperor. Don't even think that Yifan is a casual cultivator. He came to the Big Dipper domain from the earth without any roots. In fact, his arrival was planned by Emperor Ruthless. Among the various great opportunities, many were released by Emperor Ruthless. Then Yifan, with decisiveness and combat power beyond ordinary people, took the lead in every opportunity. Not to become a fairy, just to wait for you to return in the red dust. This is a famous phrase left by Emperor Ruin from the ages, in which Yu refers to Yifan. Yifan's previous life was the brother of Emperor Ruthless. Emperor Ruthless. Senju Chongsheng murmured, causing Yifan to be puzzled, but he didn't ask much. The two of them sat in the pavilion leisurely tasting the fairy dew, full of vitality in their bodies, exuding colorful glare. Ignoring the gaze of Emperor Ruthless, Senju Chongsheng said to Yifan leisurely, I will stay here for a few days and teach you the whole story of immortal longevity Kungfu and idol's prison restraining power. I will teach you the golden curse and the chaotic heaven and earth visions of the ancient sacramental body. Once time has passed, I will return to my world. The 4 wars on the ninja world were about to begin, and he couldn't stay here for a long time. Had it not been for the speed of the world to be faster than the world of ninja, he might not have planned to stay here. Yifan was stunned when he heard the words, and said, Mr. Immortal, mine is the ancient sacrament. Can you even give pointers to this physique? After the ancient times, the laws of heaven and earth changed, and the Eucharist was trapped in the heaven and earth, and could never be enlightened, but this is not absolute. Senju Chongsheng responded indifferently. What he said was to Yifan and also to these Ji family members. The conversation between the two will definitely be transmitted to Ji's ears by these subordinates. Yifan is now regarded as his disciple, so it should also help him find a backstage. Although the Ruthless Emperor was his protector, this person would not interfere too much. The enemies that Ruthless Emperor will block are those great abilities that can travel through the past, the present, and the future. As for the other enemies, they were all left to Yifan to resist. In order to reduce Yifan wasting too much time on some troublesome things, it is necessary to have a backstage support. Senju Chongsheng's move also secretly accelerated the turbulence of the sky-covering world. In the next more than a month, Senju Chongsheng carefully pointed Yifan to understand his Tao and turn it into a sacred sound. A large number of golden runes filled the air. Yifan was located in the center of the runes. Various visions appeared behind them, colliding with each other and rumbling noises. Golden bitter sea, chaotic green lotus, splendid rivers and mountains, yin and yang life and death picture, fairy king Lin Jushin, stars shining in the sky. Boom. The vision dispersed in vain, and the shocking divine power whizzed out, completely blocked by Senju's longevity aura. The splendid buildings and expensive items were preserved without any damage. Yifan has been trying to unite his visions these days, but he has never been able to succeed. The holy master of the Ji family came to visit several times, secretly revealing his intention to win. Senju Chongsheng is not repulsive, and his attitude is very friendly. You don't need to rush for the vision to unite for a while. When the opportunity arrives, it will naturally merge. Senju Chongsheng said indifferently. As for the Eucharist cannot prove the Tao, from the moment you practice immortal longevity, there is no such restriction. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 167 The Giant of Light The Ancient Eucharist Cannot Prove the Way? It was only the interaction between the environment and the cultivation system after the deserted ancient times that led to this situation. But the immortal longevity gong is another cultivation system, which directly breaks the shackles of the Tao. According to Senju Chongsheng's current Qian and strength, it is actually similar to the great emperor of the sky-shaking world, but there are some differences. Because of the different power systems, the direction of specialization is also different. The Zetian power system pays more attention to the release of divine power, and the attack methods are powerful and fierce. The focus of the immortal longevity gong is immortality. Therefore, the energy fluctuations during the battle will converge a lot, and it will not be as earth-shaking as the sky shielding system. However, even if his current realm is comparable to the realm of Emperor Zetian, this is only the pinnacle of humanity. The next step of immortality is the realm that Senju Chongsheng pursues. He will not be proud of it, but will be more low-key. Calm down and become stronger. With the sign-in system, he can keep getting stronger. There is a chat group, he can cross the world. Okay, it's time for me to go back. You are very savvy, and I understand what I teach very quickly. Senju Chongsheng's handsome face showed a gratifying smile. Good master, I will definitely become stronger and strive for the vision to be united as soon as possible. Yi Fan got up and saluted, with a respectful attitude. Just when Senju Chongsheng was about to leave, the two of them were taken aback at the same time. A help message came from the Wanji chat group. Zhen Zhao Daji Yu. The enemy here is too strong, please support from Mr. Immortal, come on. Kira Jiying. Is there another mission? This time I also want to participate in the mission. Limrutern Pest. I want to go too, I also need to go. Sha Jiju Shiyu. Don't make trouble, it's an emergency now, not earning points. Doryashi. Strong? It seems that Dagu's world also has strong enemies. I want to try whether it can be turned into a card. Zhen Zhao Dagu. I am in an emergency now. Senju Chongsheng. Let me do it, I won't send any missions this time. The world of Dagu is not as simple as you think. Fuck Ultraman, how many in the group are comparable to Ultraman? Ultraman is not only huge, but their power is also very fierce. Unless it's a small cultivator, or a rival like Limru and the Bone King, don't even want to beat Ultraman. People like Tanjiro, Kuchin Urin, and Jin Muken, when encountering Ultraman or monsters, they only get abused. Rather than wasting time on this task extraction, it is better for Senju Chongsheng to go directly to the Dagu world. If you guessed it correctly, Dagu encountered it. It should be the final boss, the evil god Gatenji. Only this boss will make it difficult for Dagudu to contend. The evil god Gatenji, an ultra-ancient monster, is the culprit of the demise of the ultra-ancient civilization. Has the title of Ruler of Darkness. 10,000 years ago, it used Zidra to destroy the ultra-ancient human civilization and lead Zoga to rule the world. The ultra-ancient ruins that have been sleeping on the bottom of the Pacific Ocean since then. It's also time for the group members to see what a giant of light is. Diga World. The Pacific Ocean. The place was shrouded in black mist, covering all the light, not even a trace of moonlight could penetrate it. A monster in the shape of a snail tens of feet high, located in the center of the South Pacific. On its stiff shell, there are densely packed holes, exuding a lot of black mist. The light of this world is covered by its black mist. Boom. At this moment, Tiga, the giant of light, is being bound by several tentacles of Gatonje, struggling with all his strength. He hammered the tentacle over and over again, and although the powerful type was able to break free, he would soon not be entangled again. Over and over again, Tiga's energy was also consumed by most. What made him most helpless was that Tiga's light could not penetrate the shell of this monster. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. The colored timer on Tiga's chest had changed from azure blue to red at this moment. It turned bright and dark, making a ding-dong sound. This is a manifestation of insufficient energy, commonly known as no battery. Zhen Zhao Daji Yu. Mr. Immortal, please hurry up, I can't hold on anymore. Relax, I have arrived. Just when Daji Yu was anxious, a quiet voice came from Dijia's ear. I saw that Senju Chongsheng did not know when he had come to this world, standing on Diga's shoulders. The live broadcast begins. The picture of Tiga World suddenly appeared in the chat group. Beatrice. Bibi Dong. What is this place and why is it so dark? Manyashi. This is the first point of view of Mr. Immortal. The guy in front of him seems to be a bit unusual in proportion. Levi Ackerman. Levi Ackerman. This is bigger than the giant in our world. Polygonum cuspidatum. It's so dark, is this a monster? Limrutern Pest. Okay, it feels like a dragon. Gojo Satoru. So, is there such a huge monster in the world of Limru? Limrutern Pest. Yes, there are many monsters of different sizes. Zhang Jue. Newcomers are not easy, Tanjiro Zalman. Sure enough, there are still many diving experts. What about Mr. Ogu? Dagu, he is next to me, now he has become a giant of light. Senju Chongsheng smiled and drew the white sword day, turning his perspective to Tiga, so that the group members could see all of Tiga's appearance. Saitama. Wow, isn't this the equivalent of a weirdo? Sha Jiju Shiyu. Ah, this. Tony Stark. Hiss, this is Dagu? Levi Ackerman. Giants, bigger than supergiants. Ains Gong. What a huge body, it's 100 meters high visually. This is called Ultraman, and the height can be changed. Tiga can be up to 120 meters tall. Kang. Suddenly, as Senju's voice fell, the white light swept past. The shot that bound Tiga instantly split into several pieces and exploded. Roar, Gatanothor roared, and the pain made it extremely angry. The ant in front of you can actually hurt it, ha, ha, ha. 3 tentacles swept out, piercing through the air. 2 tentacles stretched out towards Tiga, and the other tentacle was going to pierce the ant directly in front of him. Just try my new knife with you. Senju Chongsheng chuckled lightly, raised the sword in his hand, and moved his mind. Chang chang. In an instant, the blade shattered and opened, turning into sharp blades flying all over the sky, like a goddess scattered flowers. The cold light on the blade was faint, and the sharp vigor whizzed out, like a star-studded shot at Gatenji. Chi 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 chi. In the dark night, the blade of the sword swirled like a meteor penetrating Gatenji's body. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 168. Although the monsters in the Ultraman world are powerful, their stature is really very heavy. Facing Senju's longevity blade, Gatenji had no chance to dodge at all, and at the same time it didn't even think about dodge. It was very confident in its own body, and even made a sneer in its mouth. Such a small blade, like breaking its defense, is really nonsense. Puff 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 puff. Gatenji's sarcasm flashed, and then there was severe pain in his body, and fire spattered from his body. Roar, Gatanothor roared again, the blades running around in his body, cutting its internal structure. Under the violent struggle, the sea was turbulent, causing a tsunami of hundreds of meters. Zoom in. Senju Chongsheng patted Tiga's head, and the golden light spell bloomed like a small sun. The power of light poured into Tiga's body, and the flashing red-colored timer turned back to azure blue in vain. Full of light energy, Tiga's body was suddenly covered by shining golden light, and it looked as if it had become Shining Tiga. But in fact, he is still a powerful type, only the power of light was crossed by the golden light curse. Tiga did not froze and switched from the strong form back to the compound form. After crossing the wrists in the front, spread the energy to the left and right. Combined into an L shape, it emits a white super hot light. Zai Periao Ray. Laugh, the light burst out sharply, and Gatanothor, who was standing opposite, resisted the severe pain, and shot a purple petrified light from his head. Rumble. The white light and the purple light collided with each other, and the waves of energy made the Pacific Ocean vibrate violently, and the waves roared. Tiga snorted softly, instilling all his energy. The white light gradually gains the upper hand and pushes towards Gatanothor. Senju's long-term business intention retracted the blade, and the blades with the cold light of the sword aura, collectively penetrated out of Gatenji's body. Thousands of sharp blades floated back to his hilt, and gradually folded into a white long knife. Boom! Tiga's rays penetrated Gatenji's body, and a deafening blast suddenly sounded. The golden light and explosive sparks, like 2 small suns, light up this dark Pacific Ocean. Under the loud noise, Gatanothor exploded on the spot, turning into a cloud of smoke in his roar. The black fog that obscured the sky and sun also dissipated at this moment, and the sun swayed and fell. Only Tiga stands standing in the center of South Blue in the Pacific Ocean, and Senju Chongsheng standing on his shoulders. Ultraman's world is so strange, the fight is short, and when the monster dies, all the destruction will fade with it. The brilliant sunlight shone down, refracting it so that the day was particularly dazzling. With no one around, Tiga also changed back to Dagu. Sunshine's smile is like Senju's longevity, giving people a sense of spring breeze. Thank you for your help, Mr. Immortal. Zhenjiao Dagu stretched out his palm and shook it gently with the famous Mr. Immortal, with a gentle smile on his face. The members of the group are all friends. This is what it should be. Senju Changsheng smiled and responded with a silent system sign in. Open black lens bracket ding. Tiga World has successfully signed in. Congratulations on obtaining the method of using light rays. Close black lens bracket. Zai Peliao Ray, isn't this Tiga's ultimate move? Hearing the prompt from the system, Senju Chongsheng's mouth twitched inadvertently. This skill is not bad, although he does not have the power of light, but he can drive this move with aura. Only, Ultraman's fighting style is extremely inconsistent with Senju's style. The action of releasing light is enough for him to blast hundreds of punches. Forget it, throw it to Poros to learn. The cosmic energy of Poros is exactly in line with Ultraman's light energy. When encountering tasteless abilities, Poros was just right to teach them all. Senju Chongsheng believes that the other party will thank him. Thinking of this, he couldn't help smiling. He really cares about his subordinates. Even in the depths of Otherworld, he has not forgotten to benefit his subordinates. If there is nothing wrong, I will go back too. Hearing this, Dagu was stunned and said, is it so urgent? How about staying and sitting and taking a break? No, there are still some urgent things to deal with in my world. Senju Chongsheng shook his head. Immediately, the group transmission function was activated, and he stepped directly into the transmission channel. Dagu stood alone, looking at the direction of Senju Chongsheng's departure. His colleagues from the winning team ran over with a smile, embracing him. After returning to Konoha, Senju Chongsheng immediately asked Amelia how long it had passed and what happened during this time. Through Amelia's words, it was learned that the Ninja Union Army was formally established. All countries are willing to follow Konoha Village's arrangements, and the major ninja villages have also bought back the tail beasts from Konoha at an expensive price. Now all the major Jinchuriki are learning to control the power of the tail beast to meet the upcoming battle. The people of Akatsuki disappeared, but everyone could feel the undercurrent and didn't dare to be negligent. Fortunately, I just caught up. As long as you wait quietly in Konoha, you can. Tony Stark. Well, Mr. Immortal, there's an alien civilization attacking us, please support. Senju Chongsheng. Tony's information made him a little mad. Doesn't it make people guard Konoha? How come there are always so many things in the group before the 4th Ninja World War comes? Just went to Zishan to help play the game, and then went to Tiga World to fight monsters. Finally returned to Konoha and prepared to be Konoha's patron saint. As a result, the Marvel Universe came to an alien civilization again. Forget it, send a task for the group members to solve. Senju Chongsheng clicks to open the task function in the 10,000 Worlds chat group. Just when I was about to choose to publish, I was in vain. No, it's not the first episode of Fulian, this alien civilization. He frowned. Could it be Thanos? If Thanos is coming, I'm afraid it won't be able to stop by just launching a mission. Because the task is drawn by the group members immediately, the ghost knows who will be drawn, and if the strength is too weak, the problem cannot be solved in the past. Unless Senju Chongsheng has fixed personnel. But in this way, it will also cause dissatisfaction with other group members. He clearly remembers that not long ago, many people said that they wanted to go to other worlds and wanted to do tasks. Sure enough, I still want me to go there myself. Senju Jongsei looked embarrassed. Forget it, Konoha is pretty good anyway, so it shouldn't be a problem. I'll just let a group of people over, and let's get a quick wave of pictures. After making up his mind, he reorganized the task here. Ding. The group owner releases a rescue mission. Task content. Save the Marvel World. Limited number. 7. Reward points. Unknown. Fixed person. Senju Chongsheng. This task is a campaign mode. Candidates, please click the confirm button. During the mission, the perspectives of the participating members will be presented in a live broadcast throughout the whole process. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 169 Luxury Lineup Tony Stark. I'm going, 7 people. BB Dong. There are so many people this time, it seems to be taken seriously. Ains ul Christine. Mr. Immortal, is this going to let us sweep it? Polygonum cuspidatum. It's rare. I thought I had seen missions of 2 or 3 people. I'm afraid this mission is not easy. Beatrice. Tony's world is really dangerous. Senju Chongsheng. Yes, this task is very difficult. If you make a mistake, the probability of death is 50%. In case Thanos accidentally collects the gems and snaps his fingers down, the Marvel Universe will die half of the creatures. But don't think that infinite gems will not destroy yourself just because you are from other worlds. Kira Jiying has been tampered with, and this has been clearly told to Senju. As long as you are in the Marvel Universe, you will be affected by infinite gems. Izumi Sagiri. So terrible, Limrutran Pest. Huh? Will die? I am afraid. Limrutran Pest. But I really want to play in other worlds. I'm so entangled. I'll leave the decision to the chat group to draw lots. Yasuo. It's just death, it's not a big deal. Zhang Jue. Ha 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 ha. Little friend Yasuo's indifferent attitude towards life and death is admirable. Yasuo. Death is like the wind, always with me. Doriyashi. Don't talk nonsense, I will definitely get it this time. I want to get all your powers, I hope you don't mind. Acedes. The premise is that you can get it, I also want to participate in the mission, I want to meet Mr. Immortal. Shiyu Shajichu. I also want to participate in activities. Zalman Tanjiro. Don't, Sister Shajichu, have you forgotten the lesson last time? Had it not been for Senju's longevity to be a good person last time, Shajichu Shiyu would have died in the Marvel world. The death rate this time is higher than last time. Isn't Shajichu Shiyu afraid of death? Shajichu Shiyu. Humph, today I am not what I used to be, my Gundam has been made by me, just give it a try. Tony Stark. I can testify to this. I was shocked when I saw the drawings that Kasumi Goka sent during this period. Tanjiro Chiaoman. Really, congratulations to Sister Shajichu for finding her strengths. Wu Tiao Wu. Open looting and looting, I will take another task and start dual system training. Saitama. This time, I want to come too, hoping to meet a strong opponent. All members are gearing up, and click to participate in the task at the same time. Ding. Congratulations on the success of the mission. The personnel involved in this mission are Doriyashi, Yasuo, Limrutran Pest, Shajichu Shiyu, Saitama, Edward Newgate, Senju Chongsheng, good guy. Senju Chongsheng almost laughed out loud immediately. Is this a big collection? Even if Saitama is there, there is a Limru. Such a lineup, even if Senju cannot survive forever, it is not a problem at all. No matter how strong Thanos was, it would be difficult for them to parry the two at the same time. Limrutran Pest. Okay, I can finally play in other worlds. Was. Damn, why did Menyashi get drawn again? Oh Huang. Yifan. It's a pity, but I happen to need time to retreat and become stronger, so I don't want to go. Zhang Jiwei. The old man just changed the two systems, and he also needs to practice in retreat. Yun Yun. I hope to be drawn, Izumi Sagiri. It's uncomfortable. Why don't you have me? Am I really such a non-chief? Polygonum cuspidatum urine. Sao-chan is so pitiful, I have done at least one mission. Jin Muyan. Don't be sad, I have never done a task. True angle Dagu. +1. Was. +1, Portgas d'Ace. Plus 10,086. Manyashi. Very good, I want to try to get the card power. Edward Newgate. Whoops, the old man was actually drawn. Portgas d'Ace. Congratulations, father, leave it to us here, and I wish you a good time. Shajichu Shiyu. Ahahaha. This girl has been drawn again. Ace Day. Shit luck. Saitama. That's great, I finally got a bloody fight, so I'm really on fire again. Yasuo. Can you wander in the new world? It's really exciting. Tony Stark. Good needle, now his world is saved, so many great people have come. The huge alien spaceship outside doesn't look so terrible anymore. Levi Ackerman. Mr. Immortal, I also have something to ask for. Senju Chongsheng. But it doesn't matter. Levi Ackerman. I want Da Ji Yu to come over and help us investigate the truth about the giant. Levi Ackerman. With him, no matter what kind of giant you face, you can easily solve it. The world of Captain Levi's is a world where giants are rampant. These giants were fed by humans, and their birth actually came from humans. In the ancient times of the giant world, there were two empires. They are the Malay Empire and the Eldia Empire. The king of the Eldia Empire signed a contract with the devil in order to end the years of fighting, and obtained the power of a giant. But humans with the power of giants can only survive for 13 years. King Eldia passed away not long after he unified the mainland. His descendants split his giant power into 9 parts. That is, the 9 giants today, except for the 9 giants, the others are ordinary giants without intelligence. The spinal fluid of the giant is injected into the human body, and the human will become a giant. The more the amount, the larger the body. These ordinary giants will never be able to turn back into humans. Unless it swallows the 9 giants. This is the origin of giants in the world of soldiers. Over time, 7 of the 9 giants were instigated by the descendants of the Malay Empire. It can be seen that the power of mouth escape is not only powerful in the shinobi world. In other worlds, mouth escape is also very powerful. The remaining Malay empires, because of the existence of the giant's power, once again broke out a war with the kingdom of Eldia. The contemporary king Eldia is more war-weary, so he took the initiative to sign a peace contract. He took some of his people to a deserted island and built 3 walls. Claiming that there are no humans outside, tampering with all history, and establishing a pure land of bliss belonging to the high levels. This is where Levier lives, the origin of the city wall. The Malay Empire on the outside gradually prospered, and even began to send in undercover agents to seize the power of the remaining giants. There is also a scene in the original book where the oversized giant kicked off the wall at the beginning of the story. Regarding all this, the people on Levi's side don't know anything. It is difficult for them to get outside. Therefore, seeing Tiga's existence, Luel would have the idea of letting him help. From all angles, Tiga's power completely crushed the giant. Moreover, Da Ji Yu can usually hide in their regiment as an ordinary person, without being noticed of any abnormality. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 170 Senju Chongsheng. Yes, but Dagu is willing to go there is another matter. Senju Chongsheng. At Zhenjiao Dagu, since the military commander chose to let Dagu help him, Senju would naturally not force the military commander to choose others. Although many people in the group can be giants in seconds. Zhenjiao Dagu. This? Real horn. I really want to take this task, but I am worried that there will be monsters on my side. Senju Chongsheng. Don't worry about you over there, I can give you permission to pass through, and you can go back and take a look at any time. The final boss in Tiga world is gone, basically nothing will happen. Unless it is a theatrical story, the earth is safe. It can be said that Dagu has actually entered idler mode. Zhen Zhao Da Ji Yu. Really, that's great, I am willing to participate in this mission. Levi Ackerman. Thank you very much, Dagu. Zhen Zhao Da Ji Yu. You're welcome. Senju Chongsheng. Well, I will release the task to you now. Ding. The group owner releases a long-term task. Task content. Investigate the truth about the giant. Reward points. Unknown, fixed staff, really great. This mission is a fixed mode, and other members have no permission to participate. This mission will not automatically start the live broadcast mode. Zhenjiao Dagu clicked and received without hesitation, and was granted the right to travel back and forth between the two worlds. Senju Chongsheng knew everything about the giant world, but he didn't tell him these things. Because the amount of information is too large, the commander's 3 views have been completely subverted. Even if he told Levier, the other party would still choose to investigate it again. No one can believe that the place where I have lived and struggled for so long is actually just an island. Anyway, Dagu has passed, and it will be a matter of time before the truth is investigated. And the speed will definitely be faster than in the original work, and reduce a lot of sacrifices. Ultraman can't protect humans, so who can save humans? Senju Chongsheng. At Zhenjiao Dagu, come on, wait for you to make soup. Senju Chongsheng withdrew a message and pretended that nothing happened. Senju Chongsheng. At Zhenjiao Dagu, come on, when you get out of your head, you can use your points to exchange for the Golden Light Curse. There is no need to worry about running out of electricity in the future. Although I couldn't understand some of the strange words that Mr. Immortal said, Dagu really wanted Golden Light Curse very much. Since the last time he experienced the charging effect of the Golden Light Curse, he still hasn't done it yet. He felt that this exercise was tailor-made for his Diga. The moment the Golden Light Charm was charged, for Tiga. Just like when you were away from home, your mobile phone is about to run out of power, and you were afraid of shutting down at any time when you were connected to receive information. Suddenly someone offered a power bank plus a data cable, let alone receiving information. Don't be afraid to start the game directly. It's so sour. The Golden Light Charm is like a power bank, when the power of Tiga. Ah no, after the light energy is used up, it will be full in an instant. Is equal to 2 lives. Senju Chongsheng. Everyone prepare, we are going to send to Tony World to support. After speaking, he himself did not transmit it immediately. Instead, she looked at Emilia, who was cleaning her not far away, and called her over. Emilia, I want to take you back. Ah, so fast. Oh no, why are you willing to let me go back suddenly? Emilia was slightly taken aback, feeling a bit too abrupt. Having lived here for a while, she feels that everything here is so novel. I haven't played enough yet, why are you going back so soon? I never planned to keep you here, you idiot. It's just that your Parker ran away and caused a lot of trouble, so I just leave you here for a while. Senju Chongsheng said angrily. Now it's solved, naturally I want to take you back. Immediately, he clicked on the chat group traversal function, ready to throw Emilia back. Don't. Who said that I'm for nothing? Don't I do miscellaneous activities every day? Emilia raised her cheeks and said angrily. I don't want to go back yet. By the way, where are you going? Emilia ran up in small steps, changing the subject curiously. Go save the world where Subaru Kaewi is, he replied casually. Kaewi Subaru. I want to go too, I want to see how he's doing. When she heard that Subaru was also there, Emilia suddenly couldn't wait, she wanted to know how Subaru was doing. She also realized through her calmness during this period of time. Kaewi Subaru is an ordinary person, and the life of a mortal is actually the most suitable for him. If Kaewi Subaru can live well in other worlds, there is really no need to go to her world. Senju Chongsheng heard this and thought for a while, and felt that she could indeed take her to meet Nague Subaru. Emilia of the province always thought he had done to the Pleiades of Kaewi. All right, I will take you over to meet him. Senju Chongsheng shrugged and started the whole journey. Marvel Earth. Over the world, huge flying objects appeared. A large number of aircraft flew into the Earth from the universe, descending alien life. The heroes of the Avengers assembled and fought fierce battles with these alien civilizations. The collision of technology and magic destroyed entire buildings, leaving civilians nowhere to hide. Tony controls a suit of armor that looks like a tights, without a trace of bloat on his body. This is the Immortal armor too that he researched out. It is more flexible and at the same time, the damage does not decrease but increases. He found a generation of Dr. Ant-Man, and the two of them worked together to develop this suit. What's inside is not just Senju's battle data. Tony loaded all the combat data he could access into the armor. In the face of various crises, dozens of ways to deal with it can be listed. In every live chat group, he exchanged points with total points and asked Jarvis to analyze and record them. In fact, this suit of armor can be called 10,000 Worlds Armor 1, the reason it is still called Immortal. It is purely to pay tribute to Senju's longevity. Call out! Call out! Call out! The 3 aircraft fired lasers continuously and wanted to rush here. Tony's armor is full of light blue light, and the quantum pusher makes him speed so fast that the instrument can't catch it. His figure flashed past the 3 aircraft. Immediately afterwards, there were 3 consecutive explosions. Tony slowly retracted the Edmund alloy long knife that exuded a gloomy light, and the fire that exploded behind became his background, and the heat swept through it. Hisaki. Call. At this time, a wall of airflow suddenly rose. The hot heat waves were all blocked by this wind wall, and no trace of temperature could penetrate. The 7 purple-black transmission channels opened up like a space vortex. Members of the chat group walked out of it at the same time, all dressed in different clothes. The most unique thing is that Yasuo is dressed as a tramp, and looks like a proper tramp. The wind wall just now was released by him, but everyone's eyes gathered in the direction of Shajichu Shiyu. Behind her is a small robot, carrying a 5-meter high cube iron box. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 171 Kamen Rider Immortal. The petite robot easily lifted the iron body, which seemed to weigh more than 10 tons. It's like an ant holding up branches and leaves, which is quite contrasting. What is this? A young girl's voice sounded, and everyone's eyes immediately turned to another blue-haired girl who was extremely cute. Well, the boy. This person who cannot see the gender of male and female is exactly the human form of Limru Pest. Are you Limru? Are you a boy or a girl? Sha Jiju Shi Yu held her hands on her waist, showing a charming smile. She has already gone to college, she looks more mature and beautiful, and she exudes a learned charm from a glance and a smile. Yeah, I am Limru. As for my gender, you should treat me as a boy, Limru smiled. He is a slime reincarnated and has no gender at all. But he was a boy in his previous life, so he always thought of himself as a boy. This way, it's no wonder this looks so cute, it turns out to be a boy. Shajichu Shiyu smiled and said, the iron body behind my sister is the Gundam that my sister just made. Really? It looks amazing, Limru said with a look of envy. Hula la la la. Is this the other world? The people here seem to be very small. Whitebeard Edward Newgate walked up tall, and the sound of laughter vibrated everywhere. He is 6 meters 6 meters tall as 3 Thanos. Congratulations. The immortal gods who travel through time and space and know the past and the future come to this world and will sweep all enemies in the world. An excited smile appeared on Waz's face holding a book, and he shouted. Hey! I brought this guy here for the sake of pitifulness. Manya Shi walked indifferently, and gently pressed the magenta camera on his chest. Everyone, come and laugh, click. A photo of a group member's offline meeting slowly spit out from the camera. The photo began to blur as it was in the alien world. Men Yashi looked happy, and several cards appeared in his hand in the next moment. Sure enough, Men Yashi said excitedly. The several cards in hand are, Kamen Rider Ronin, Kamen Rider Superman, Kamen Rider Whitebeard, Kamen Rider Slime, and Kamen Rider Immortal. Harvesting 5 night cards at once, especially the Senju Jonsei card, is the greatest gain for Manyashi. Damn, you guy. Waz's mouth twitched slightly, and his heart felt extremely worried about His Majesty the Demon King. Can the Majesty the Demon King really be able to stop the Emperor with the power of Mr. Immortal? Hey, congratulations, Waz, your Majesty has been successfully surpassed by me, I am the Emperor Knight. Kamo Yashi waved the new card in his hand and grinned. I'm already in a hurry, I'll go find someone to fight first, and then I will come back to you to discuss with you. Without waiting for others to look back, Saitama bounced up, disappearing from everyone's field of vision in the blink of an eye. Soon, there was an explosion in the distance. You don't have to think about it, it is definitely a masterpiece of Saitama. Welcome everyone to my world. After the event is over, I will welcome everyone with a luxurious carnival party. Tony came with a smile, his words full of money. He suddenly turned his head and said to Senju Chongsheng. By the way, Mr. Immortal, this time the attack on our Earth is from Thanos in the universe. He has several infinite gems on his body. At that time, I will give you all these gems, just as it is to help us keep it, and it is also a reward. Do you think it is okay? Before the action, everyone in the Avengers had already discussed the follow-up process. The power of infinite gems is too strong to be kept by S.H.I.E.L.D. Therefore, Tony proposed to bring the infinite gems to other worlds to avoid various alien attacks caused by the infinite gems. And the person who takes away the infinite gems is naturally Senju, who can travel through the world for longevity. All infinite gems, then I will laugh at it. Senju Chongsheng was indifferent, without surprise or excitement. You act first, I will take Emilia to Tokyo. By the way, Tony will give me the coordinates of the Pleiades. No problem. A card ejected from Tony's hand, this is a navigation instrument. After Senju Chongsheng took over, he directly moved Emilia with aura and flew towards Tokyo. Kang. Yasuo drew his long sword, a whirlwind swirled around him. Everyone, I'm one step ahead too. Suddenly, the hurricane whistled and rolled up the dust in the sky. Yasuo's figure also disappeared at this moment, and only a few powerful individuals could capture his figure. Wow. The force of the wind leapt up with Yasuo, stepped on the glass of the high-rise building, rushing through the building and the ruins. He directly swung his long knife towards the alien creatures and the spacecraft, and cleaved the blue water waves. Boom. 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 Destroy the spaceship with one sword, and kill people with one sword. The wind is whistling and the water is surging. Yasuo shook the water with the force of the wind, causing a tsunami to flood the city. All the alien creatures were submerged by this wave, and every drop of water was transformed by a sword gas. One drop is the damage of a sword cutting. Yasuo's pursuit of kendo reached the ultimate, even beyond ordinary people's thinking. With a knife to slash out such a mighty scene, only he can do it. If Senju Chongsheng is still here, he will definitely complain. As expected of Yasuo, it is really enough. The waves are transformed. Let me try Mr. Immortal's card. Kamo Yashi chuckled slightly, and a magenta driver appeared around his waist. The Emperor Chi card appeared in his hand, dropped it into the drive, and pushed it with both hands. Kamen Ride. Decade, in an instant, the driver put a pure black tights on Manyashi. Several cards flew out of the drive and then inserted into the face. The magenta color passed, and the tights turned into armor at this moment. He once again drew a card from his waist. The portrait on it is really Senju Chongsheng. Across thousands of worlds, I am the only one who is immortal. Moon Yashi smiled and inserted the card into the drive, and suddenly 100 jong tall magical ray appeared around him, bright golden light dazzling. Boom. The vast fluctuations come from nowhere, and the clouds in the sky are surging with it. Kage came and ride. Immortality. The drive made a jam-like sound, so loud that the earth was shaking. The driver of the super magenta red color is also turned to gold at this moment. Mon Yashi himself was also stunned. The only thought that flashed through my mind was, the drive seems a bit unbearable. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 172 Click. There were several cracks in the magenta driver of Emperor Qi, and golden light leaked from the cracks. Under Mon Yashi's astonishment, the driver exploded on the spot, and a golden light enveloped Emperor Qi's body. The sky-high magical ray map of 100 meters high was placed on the Emperor's body layer by layer. The magenta lines also turned into golden colors. The golden light dissipated, and a brand new golden drive was located at the waist of Emperor Qi. It was still in the form of the Emperor, the only difference was that the magenta parts on his body were all turned to gold. Kamen Rider Immortal. This is the minimal change of Manyashi using the power of others. Is this the power of Mr. Immortal? It feels really powerful, and it breaks through with my drive. Doriyashi looked at his hands in shock, as if he had infinite power, and one punch could break the void. I thought my drive was about to blow up, but I didn't expect it to break through directly under the influence of the immortal force. Doriyashi opened the slot of the skill card and found that there were a lot of cards inside. Not only does Senju Chongsheng possess many skills, it also contains skill cards of other knights. The upgrade of the drive allows me to use the skills of other knights without transforming, I probably understand. Mon Yashi picked up a card, threw it into the drive and pushed it. Accompanied by the synchronization of the mechanical sound, the golden light curse bloomed from his body, and the golden gas meteor lingered around him. Boom! Emperor Qi disappeared instantly from the place, leaving only a hole shattered by the sole of his foot. When he reappeared, he had already reached the sky, stepping out of the void. He flew like a god of war, dragging out a golden rainbow. The moment he met the spaceship, he directly punched the spaceship into flaming fragments. Woz, who could see below, let out a long sigh. Beyond the drive, Woz took out his own drive and put it on his waist. An agitated voice came from the driver, and the belt buckled. Pressing the watch with the green head portrait while sipping lightly, he suddenly pressed it on the drive, transformed. Action. A burst of rhythmic and melody music suddenly sounded, like live DJ sound effects, extremely exciting. Projection. Future time. Great, times, future. Kamen Rider Woz. The dark green screen penetrated Woz, and the green armor instantly formed on him. Congratulations. The prophet who interprets the past and the future, and records the correct history, named Kamen Rider Woz, came to Otherworld for the first time. Woz stretched out his arms and made a speech very excited. Hulla. The old man wants to get his muscles active too, Whitebeard laughed. He didn't pay attention to Woz's congratulations at all, and his huge body stepped out toward those alien civilizations. Tony immediately yelled. Everyone, wait, listen to me, and when the alien civilization here is resolved, go to Wakanda with me to support. Huh? Isn't this the main battlefield? Limuru looked up and wondered. Shiyu Shajichu, who was just about to release Gundam, stopped and looked at Tony Stark. No, this is just one of the battlefields. The Time Gem and Power Gem have been safely sent to Wakanda, where it will become the main battlefield. Tony relayed the information he had just received to everyone. In that case, let's make a quick fight. Whitebeard stepped forward, the soles of his feet stomping the ground like a spider web. He punched forward suddenly, and the space shattered like glass. Boom! Suddenly the land broke apart, and the dust waves swept across. The tsunami wave that Yasuo hit, with the help of Whitebeard's shock fruit's ability, became more choppy. The alien civilizations in front of us were all turned into dust on the spot under this fist. Boom! 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 Emperor Qi and Saitama, one in the sky and the other in the ground, swept across. People block and kill, Buddha block and kill Buddha. Just like harvesting straw, punch one by one, and the fire is all over the sky. The strong air pressure shook the surrounding building glass to shatter. The alien spacecraft in this area was swept away under the attack of a few members of the group in less than a moment. Did you finish the fight so soon? I didn't need me to do it? Limuru smiled and touched his head, very silly. Well, I don't seem to need to transform, the enemy is weaker than expected. Woz, who transformed into a Kamen Rider, just like Limuru, did nothing at all. The battle here is over, marveled Tokyo. Compared to the war in New York, this place seems a bit peaceful. Because there is no alien civilization coming. In areas that are not battlefields, as long as Thanos does not snap his fingers, nothing will happen. It's just that the streets are more noisy, and a large number of people stop on the streets. Watching the colored TV on the street is broadcasting news about alien invasions, arousing exclamations from time to time. Kaewi Subaru was in the crowd, looking up at the big colored TV outside the mall, startled. Naoki Subaru. Naoki Subaru. While familiar voices echoed in his ears, there was a small white hand shaking in front of him. Only then did Kaewi Subaru come back to his senses. He turned his head to look at the owner of Xiaosho. But I saw that beautiful face thinking day and night. For a while, Kaewi Subaru thought he had hallucinations, rubbed his eyes and found that the other party was still standing in front of him. Love, Emilia? Kaewi Subaru said incredulously. It's not dazzling, is it a dream? How could Emilia appear here? It's great to see you safe and healthy. Emilia breathed a sigh of relief in her heart, showing a bright smile. Sure enough, Mr. Immortal did not lie to her. Judging from the look of Subaru Kaewi, life should have been pretty good. Tony arranged the life of Pleiades Kaewi in Tokyo. As a rich person, no matter how bad he is for Pleiades Kaewi, his standard of living will not be so bad. Just like in a story, the rich man learns that his son actually spends millions of dollars in a month. In a fit of anger, he deducted his monthly money from several million to several $100,000. I think that his son's food might become a big problem now. Why, how could? Kaewi Subaru stammered. At this time, his eyes turned to Senju Chongsheng, who was aside. Frightened Subaru Nayuki's body stiff, but quickly relaxed again. Emilia will appear here, and this person will definitely bring it here. With the strength of the opponent, it is too simple to want to hurt him. And judging from the previous situation, this person didn't mean to hurt him. Nayuki Subaru relaxed in her heart and said to Senju Chongsheng, Mr. Immortal, please allow me to go to the world of Miria. Sorry, no, Senju Chongsheng refused, and did not intend to continue paying attention to him. Originally, getting him here was commissioned by Beatrice. If he was sent back, what would Beatrix do to explain? Wait, listen to me. Kaewi Subaru said anxiously. You slowly relive the old, and I will come to pick you up at that time. After Senju Chongsheng turned his head and said something to Emilia, he jumped into the air, and flew to Wakanda according to the navigation indicators given by Tony. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running.